Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol neheh b'dvaro. Oh, and we are live. It is amazing, guys. Welcome back to the home studio where the show belongs, really. I mean, I really love being at home, doing the show from the home studio. It's nice that we have the studio in downtown LA, but I got to tell you, getting everything set up here, being in the chair, being in front of my American flag and my prayer for the IDF behind me. Hello, yeah, God, I'm here. I'm in the cockpit, and I'm excited. Wow, and am I excited today, folks, for the 5th day of the Sphira, Hod Shebechesed. We are bringing to you live our Pesach Passover special. Possibly, maybe might go down into the archives of the Bloodsports of the Mashiach. We'll see. Depends how bloody this one gets. But we have two unbelievable non-Jews. And I have to call them non-Jews, or as the internet likes to call them, goys. Because everybody says that they're both Jews. And the internet's saying 3 Jews are meeting tonight. 3 Jews are debating. And, dude, this is like a fashion and pony show because we have 2 unbelievable goydiators that are going to battle in the arena with their ideas, opinions. These 2 have been going at it for like 6 months, folks. I've been watching the whole thing go down. Maybe even longer. Maybe subliminally, like a little cat fight has been going on for like a year and a half now. You don't know with these 2. But I'm very excited. I like them both. The gloves are coming off. These 2 gladiators are going to Spartacus it out in the arena of ideas. But we're going deep, folks. This is the Pesach special. We are going to conspiracy land. We're going to cover, did we go to the moon? This is what these guys have been fighting about on the internet. They even blocked each other. They were like so pissed they blocked each other. And supposedly there's an unblocking happening because of this battle royale. But we're going over the moon. But we'll see if we could go over the moon. I don't know. I'm going to be an impartial judge to this whole thing. I have opinions on both sides, but we're going to have fun. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be bloody, guys. So we're going to the moon, and then we're going to flat Earth, and then we're going to Erika Kirk. And we're going to throw in a bunch of stuff in between. It's exciting. But I'm going to bring out these guys. On my left, we have 7/8 goy, 1/8 Jew, Owen Benjamin, in the house, who is going to be representing the side of we didn't go to the moon, the earth is flat, and Erika Kirk killed her husband. And then to my right, we have Adam Green, possibly the goy Mashiach. Who knows with this guy? But we know one thing. This goydiator is 100% goy, and he is not a Jew. He's not Adam Greenberg. He's not Owen Benjamin Steen. Adam Green has a 1/8 advantage over Owen Benjamin in this bout. That's the, or should I say that Owen Benjamin has a 1/8 advantage over Green in this bout? I don't know. Let's get to it. Guys, welcome to Awesome Jew. We're going to start with the moon. And I think we'll start with Owen because he's really the guy who started this whole thing with his tweets and his texts and whatnot. So, Owen, let's hear your thoughts on the moon. What's the moon? Is it attainable? Where is it? What's on the dark side of the moon? Is that as real as the moon as it gets, what Adam's holding up? Explain to us what the moon is, and then we'll have Adam rebuttal of what the moon is.
Well,
Happy
frankly,
Passover, everybody. Happy Passover.
I'm not happy with that mocking Asian Americans right now with his moon face bit.
Whoa. All right, Adam.
Yeah. I mean, that's not cool. But also, I never said that Erika Kirk killed her husband.
I don't know the whole story. We're going to get to that in segment 3 if you guys last that long.
All
No
right.
rage quitting. If anybody rage quits, they're a bitch forever. We're going
Right.
hard. All right, Owen, what's the moon?
You want me to start with the moon?
Yeah,
I'm a
everyone
fan of the
knows.
moon. I like
Owen's echoing. Owen's echoing a lot.
Okay,
Check
let me
one,
fix his
check
audio,
two.
and then he'll start with the moon.
Check one, check two. What's going on with the echo? Check one, check two.
I don't know.
Are you gay? Are you gay? Gay man. Gay guy.
Not me.
Gay Jewish guy.
Nope. Sorry. By the way, everybody,
Gay-
go to
gay Jewish
go to the
man.
AdamKingShowStore.com and check these out. These are my new shirts, always with the V-neck for the Adam's apple. But my new sweatpants are so hot.
Let's fix the audio for selling merch.
100% organic cotton. Let's get that
So how
over
do we
with.
fix the audio here? Is there something going on? How's that sound?
It's only on Adam Green. Do you hear the audio?
No, the chat, the live chat's all saying it too. I hear it, and the whole chat's hearing it too.
Yeah,
Man, Owen, big time here.
There we go.
Huh?
How are we now?
I can't hear anything you're saying. You were echoing, and then it just went away.
How are we now, guys?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, you sound good. You're not echoing anymore.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, you're a little better too. You're good.
That's good.
Oh,
Look at that.
guys. Resolution.
Check one, check two. Everyone's
Resolution.
gay.
2 non-Jews and a Jew figured it out. Wow. Why do you think the internet calls you guys both Jews? What's the deal with that? Before we get started on the moon, what's the deal with that?
Because we're smart. And I don't know. It's a way to take down tall people.
Like, it would be amazing. Like, I'm at the entry level for tall for the Jew, which is 5'10".
How tall are you?
That's the front. 5'10".
5'10". That's like the tallest Jew in the whole world.
That's like the front door of tall Jews. Inside,
how do you guys fit in your little mountain?
Some of us make it to 6 feet. Some guys are over 6 feet. So
No. You guys can't fit in your little mountain dwellings if you're over 5'4". So I don't know how that happens.
You know, I got to tell you, though, I do feel like I'm the perfect Mediterranean height. So I have no complaints.
You could be a lot of ethnicities. You could be like, you could literally be like anything Mediterranean. I would believe you're Greek, Turkish, Southern Spain, Palestinian. Is that a sort of subject?
I
All right, let's just get into it.
mean,
If he got in the sun a lot, he'd look like a Palestinian.
the truth is I think like the Palestinians look more Egyptian and Jordanian to me, and I'm just a Jew from the Mediterranean, you know. Like I soak up those Mediterranean vibes. We are
Good for you, man.
indigenous to the Mediterranean, us Jews. We wandered through Europe for many years. That's not a
You guys have
conspiracy.
wandered for a long time.
That's why what's going on in the world is so special, man, because it's like the Jews are finally finding a place to stop wandering. You know, we're like seriously leaving all the Gentile nations behind. And it's a good thing. And the nations that have paired with Israel have done very well for themselves across the board. There's a new map being made. It's indisputable.
Okay.
We don't
All
have
right.
to go down the Israel path.
This is a
because-
debate, not a Hasbro.
Hey,
Prob-
Dude, me and
propaganda
Green are
video.
about to team up against you. In about
Every-
Yeah,
5
yeah.
seconds.
You're making me want to
here.
just talk about Jews with Owen right now.
everything is
Yeah, me and Green are
tomorrow
literally
over
about
here.
to join hands and fight you.
All right, guys. All right, so we'll go to the moon and we'll go to Israel later.
Okay. Well, you said we blocked each other, though. Owen, that's not true. Owen blocked me after the Erika Kirk
It was a
tweet.
temporary block. It was until the Artemis thing was over. It was getting. It wasn't a permanent block.
That's
I just
Giga
couldn't-
Chad, man.
I
That's
always
Giga
hit my
Chad.
priority button, and you're like always at the top. And I was like, until Artemis is over, I just can't handle it because it was just.
You missed all of my memes and my great thumbnails this week. I had the best Artemis content, and you missed it all. You're lost.
Well, yeah.
I've been debunking these fraud wizards lying about the moon landing all week, and you missed it all.
So, Owen, is Artemis landing on the moon? Or is this
No.
fake too?
No.
Is it,
No,
is
we
Artemis
were talking
landing?
about
They're
past
not even.
moon landings.
They're not even claiming to be landing on the moon. That technology was lost a long time ago, Adam.
No, it's not. Oh, and that's one of the biggest lies everybody spread, completely taking that NASA engineer out of context. He meant like they don't have the factories anymore. They don't have the same technicians. They don't have the funded program. That's clearly the context. It's one of the biggest lies I've been seeing going around in the moon landing denial community is it's what they all are, taking Buzz Aldrin out of context. These are wizards tricking people, Owen. That's what it is.
Okay.
Wizards.
Would you not
So-
agree that was the context of
no,
what he meant when he said that the technology was destroyed? Like we don't have the same program, the same factories. The technology is not destroyed. We still have rocket technology. They just launched the rocket the other day. Elon's doing rockets all the time. The technology is way more advanced from back then. We didn't destroy it. We had progressed with it.
Right.
I have the
Well,
clip.
do you
guys
see?
wanna
Do
see
you
the clip?
understand why I wouldn't believe that? Because they brag about how they had less technology than an iPhone. They played golf on the moon with a dune buggy, and they're fully funded. I mean, they get $68 million every day. They lost the proof that they even went, and it's
No, they
just
didn't.
a
That's
joke.
not
I mean,
true either.
I see it as Adam. Can you play?
There's
the clip
so
for
much
that?
proof in the world. Owen, is there more proof for Jesus or for the moon landing and the Apollo
Okay,
missions?
we're gonna stay on topic.
All right, let's stay on topic.
Well, you said there's no proof or they got rid of all the evidence. That's not true. That's another misconception
Adam-
that deniers say.
Adam, should I say awesome Jew so that we know which Adam I'm talking to?
We could just say, I figure you were talking.
So, like, I'm not the one making that claim. That's what NASA says. And I
Yeah.
sent
No,
awesome
no,
Jew.
they don't say that. NASA does not say they destroy the technology because they're using the same
You gotta play
technology
the
that they
clip
built
then,
on to
because
go
I'm
back.
not
I'm
just.
trying to restart
Okay.
it. Hold on.
Are we no longer live?
We are. But for some
Well, I
reason,
sent
it's
you the
not letting
clips
me play
because of
the-
this exact scenario. Because I'm telling you what they say, and you can argue with them if you want to just look at the clip I'm referring to. But I'm not just gonna have you say no, they didn't, and I'm like, yes, they did. Like, they don't have the telemetry data that they went, and the excuses are laughable.
No, it's actually a good excuse. It's only the original like data. They copied it over. They still have all the videos. They've got thousands of images, hours of videos. There's so much overwhelming evidence. They couldn't have faked it on a sound stage. The lights converging, shadows, stuff
Why
is
couldn't they have
debunked.
faked it on a soundstage? Like, why couldn't it have been faked?
They couldn't fake the gravity of the vacuum of the dust plumes and the background, and there wasn't CGI back then. When they try to do the simulations that they did, it looks like total trash. Nobody's going to believe that stuff. And
What's up
Okay,
with
so
the-
they
what
lost
was it?
the evidence is not true. They have all the evidence. It was just like some of the original magnetic tapes that were really expensive at the time. It's like saying you erase the RAM from your memory stick, but like you still have it, all the video, recorded somewhere else.
All right, Adam,
That's what it is.
Adam,
That's
I-
another
Green, I got a
missing the
question for you.
context.
Green, I got a question for you. What's this thing with the Buzz Aldrin and his like spurging out and like starting to tell people?
We're
like,
not.
we
No,
didn't
no,
go
no.
to the moon?
One thing at a time. All right, play the clip I sent
Well, I
you
can't-
of them
For some
saying.
reason, it's not loading up. It won't. like,
Okay,
load
then
up
then,
my-
then
my
you can
Chrome
go to the
browser. I
next
don't know
topic.
why,
But they literally said they taped over it because of budgetary
we all
problems.
know the clip.
Right.
They taped
So
over
they-
some of the original data that is like really nobody cares about. It's inconsequential.
No-
It's
nobody-
only flat
it's
earthers
just
try to.
totally
They try to. Flat earthers try to seize on them saying that and act like, oh, they don't have all the originals. They still have all the footage from all the
Adam,
Apollo
don't you think
missions.
it is a little
That's not
strange that
true.
The government
It
didn't
is.
keep the originals?
It's not true. Not
Adam
according to
Green,
NASA.
Hold on, no, I want to ask Adam Green.
So you're saying there's no videos of them on the moon? They erased all the
Can you guys
proof.
even hear me?
They recorded a
I
screen.
don't think you can hear me.
Okay, and the screen,
Right.
all the stuff that was coming to NASA is all gone. That's a fact. All right.
That's
We
not
can-
true.
we
No,
can-
no. Fact.
Okay. Next topic.
All right, can you guys hear me?
I sent you the proof it's true, but we can't play that because Awesome Jew is too busy.
We lost the
grandstanding about Israel.
technology to. We lost the technology to.
Yeah, that's why I like to have the like
I'm trying to
clips
find it
because
on
I'm
YouTube.
not just,
What do I
no,
search on
I
YouTube?
DM'd it.
But
I DM'd it to you.
I know, but what do I search on
everybody's seen the
YouTube?
clip.
It's not
Anybody
popping
that
up.
knows anything about the moon landing deniers, that's their number one proof.
Yeah, but
is
can
this
you
guy
just tell me what
completely
to
out of
search?
context.
Tell me what
I
to
don't
search.
know. I edited it so to make it very convenient for you, but it is commentary, and I know I didn't want to do that because, it's just someone's opinion about something. So I got all the originals together and I sent it to you because it's just the people working at NASA, and that's a public company that's tax funded. And they're saying that all the telemetry data that shows all the proof that they went got taped over as they were monitoring hurricanes.
That's not all the proof that they went. They still have all of the video. You can go on YouTube, you can go to NASA and see all the footage of
Okay,
them
all
over
right,
there. They
man.
didn't get
Cool.
rid of any
Okay,
of that
okay,
stuff.
okay.
Well, it's just true. Owen, wouldn't you have to admit that they do have the technology to go back? That's why they just launched
No,
Artemis recently.
no.
They built the program
So
back
why
up. They got
why
funded. They
why
built it back. They're going back. They didn't lose how to make rockets. They didn't lose how to make toilets and ventilation and air and thrusters. Like, they still have all of that stuff. They have all the blueprints. They're better
I
at
thought
it
they
now.
don't have any of it. I thought that they don't have the factories and all that stuff. And when the retarded guy was saying that,
Yeah,
he
they
said
don't
they
have
got a
well, they
contract.
do. They rebuilt new factories to make new generations of equipment.
Where are the factories?
For NASA, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. All over the place, probably.
That would be
Just
an interesting
everywhere.
thing. That would be an interesting thing to look up.
I watched a
Right,
video. I can't remember if it was Raytheon or Northrop Grumman, but it was a NASA video about the controls that they have.
I do know
on
the clip
Artemis.
that Owen Benjamin is.
They have not lost technology.
The
It's
clip
gotten
that
way
Owen
better.
Benjamin is talking
so
about.
they have the technology. All right, let me just tell you my fundamentals. Let's get to the fundamentals. Science has to be independently replicated. The trust me bro stuff is religious. So if somebody can independently replicate something, then you can say, "Oh, that appears to be a fact." I don't trust the government. So that's it. Like, I don't like, people can just say, "Oh no, they went." I'm like, of course you can do it on a soundstage. I'll send you the movie Avatar. It'll blow
Owen,
your
I think you
mind.
could screen share if you want.
They couldn't do it on a soundstage back then and have it look so believable.
I know all about film production. I did it for
Well,
years
how
and
come
years.
you interviewed
Vivian
what's
Kubrick,
the guy's name?
yeah.
You interviewed Kubrick's
Vivian
daughter,
Kubrick.
and she said no, he didn't do it, and he would have never scammed people.
Do you know
So
why?
debunk.
One of the reasons is because she said it would have looked believable if my dad did it.
It does look believable though. It looks like
Okay.
exactly what it should look like.
I don't think so. So, like, I don't know why that bothers you. Like, I don't think it looks believable.
That's a good
tilt up
question.
From 240,000 miles away, to me, that doesn't look at all believable. If it is true, then great. My position is understandable, is my point. The thing that annoys me isn't that I have this hard on for not going to the moon. Let's say we did go to the moon, and for some reason I'm not smart enough, or I just like can't get it in my crazy brain to not trust them when they make claims that babies will be born by the 1980s and all that stuff. To not have Michael Jackson shoot a Pepsi commercial on the moon, like they didn't keep going back, and the excuses got so ridiculous that I'm like, oh, that's fake. I don't believe that. And like, you can
Also,
say that
I
I'm
wanna
lying
pause
or
for a
stupid,
second.
but that's an understandable position.
Owen, I want to pause for a second. I also remember Werner von Braun addressing Congress and Senate saying in 2 years we'll be at the Mars in like 1970. So
Yeah, I
there,
remember when Virgin Galactic said the government is too bureaucratic, because everyone's like, oh, so you don't think the government can just mess things up and they don't have the factories or whatever? Well, so then Richard
People
Branson says the
overpromise
private.
and underdeliver all the time. You said that science has to be replicated. Rockets have been replicated. You think not just NASA's lying and satanic, but all the other
I
space,
think no.
all the
I
other
never said
space
that.
agencies around the world.
What?
You think they're all lying? Other countries have sent probes and
What other
orbiters,
countries?
and
India.
pictures.
India.
India.
Owen,
What
do you
other
think
countries?
India's lying?
China.
Owen, do you think
they
India's
saw
lying?
our lander there. They saw the
Dude,
lunar lander. They saw.
Indians don't lie, man. Indians are like straight.
So everyone
shooters,
lies,
bro.
but not Flat Earth Dave and Wits It Gets It and Bart Sabrell.
What does that have to do with anything?
They're the
do I now have
liars.
to
That's
argue?
what I'm saying. Is they're the liars, and then those are the wizards that we should be exposing. They're the ones that are tricking
What
people
other
with out of
country
context
has
clips.
what other country has played golf on the moon?
I don't know why you're so hung up on the golf thing. The guy brought a couple balls and
Because
thought it'd be cool to he had a
just a
modified
good
instrument
time,
for
yeah.
like digging the soil. He put a
Right,
metal
right
piece
on.
on it and did a couple hits because he thought it would be cool. So if he didn't hit a couple golf balls on one of the missions, you'd believe it. But that's golf. It's got to be fake. Somebody hit
No,
a
it's
ball.
just funny.
I think
It's a
that's a cool
funny.
thing to do.
It's over
You
the
would
top.
hit a golf ball on the moon.
I
It sounds
mean,
like
it is
you
something
would
I
do.
would do. I want to be honest. Like, I would do something like that. Like, he
It's
didn't have a
it's
golf club.
It's a leisure activity, is my point, and it's funny.
It took him like 2
because-
minutes. It took him 2 minutes.
Okay, all right, cool. So you
So-
don't see my point.
So
we're
what's
just
up with
not
the
gonna
Buzz
address my
Aldrin
point.
stuff, though? Hold on. What's up with the Buzz Aldrin stuff? Because he
That's
does
never
go
been
on.
any of my points, like because he's an old man. I don't know. He says
Like-
that we didn't go with kids and shit, but he's like he might have dementia. I don't fucking know.
No, that was out of context. She was asking how come we haven't been back, and he was
But
like,
that's
well, we
not
haven't
one
gone.
of my points.
He
I
meant
just
been
made
back.
a bunch of points.
No, I went
I
over
would
that
never
video,
say,
the
"Look
full
at this
context of that
80-year-old
video.
man."
Yes, I went over all the Buzz Aldrin videos.
I
I've been
never
going over
made
all the
that
proofs.
point. You just straw man that. I never brought up Buzz Aldrin.
I haven't watched.
No, I
all
brought
your
up Buzz
coverage this
Aldrin.
week about it. Everybody else online is talking about those Buzz Aldrin
I don't
clips,
bring
and they're
up-
out of
I-
context. How many times does somebody have to lie?
So
Watch
go
the
argue
debunks
with
on Bart
them.
Sabrell.
Go argue with them. I never said
I would.
that.
I
about
would.
Buzz.
Okay, we'll find.
All right,
your
so
right
Owen,
here.
where do you
Right
think?
now,
Common
I'm the
ground.
Owen, I got a question for you. Where do you think is the farthest we've gone into space?
I don't know.
Like, what about like low Earth orbit satellites? Is that real? Like, where does
I
that come
think
from?
there are satellites. I don't know how they work though, but I've seen them with night vision goggles.
Yeah.
You
And
think
Starlink
you
is
think-
pretty sweet.
What do you think the moon
Yeah.
is?
I have no idea. It's a light. Time keeps time.
A
Like
light?
I'm pretty big. See this.
What
this
lights
might.
up the moon? Hold on, Owen. What lights up the moon?
What lights up the sun?
The sun is its
So
own
the
light
sun
source.
lights itself?
Lights up everything.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, maybe
The moon
is its
isn't
own
a
light
sun,
source.
though. The moon isn't a sun.
That's a good point, Adam. This is pretty riveting.
Right.
I would say that it's God, because
What
he
lights
said
up the earth,
"Vahi
Owen?
or" in the Bible.
See, I just
Owen,
know
hold on.
it
Owen,
is
can you
a
not even-
light.
Can you not even concede that the sun lights up the moon?
Of course, I'm not going to concede that. How would you prove that?
Well, the phases of the moon, the fact that when the Earth gets in the middle, it blocks it with an eclipse and
I
leaves
don't
a
know if the
shadow
Earth
on the
gets
moon.
in the middle.
You do, and they're able to predict
No,
it
I
like,
don't.
down
The
to
only,
the second.
like for me, you can predict it, but like the reason why I can't replicate that, and I don't trust the agency that says they proved it. Like I just don't trust them. They act very shady.
So
And-
hold on, Owen. All the agencies, all the other space agencies that have sent probes and satellites and taken pictures of our landing sites that have confirmed it's real. The Russians that were monitoring the whole Apollo mission, and when they went, they didn't call it fake as well. All of them, all these different countries throughout all these decades, they're all in on it. But then once in a while, Buzz Aldrin or some guy on NASA just admits it and lets it slip that they never went. This is ridiculous. Or just a bunch of people
I never
online.
said that. You're arguing with yourself. Like I never said they're all in on it.
They would have to be to say that they're
No,
all
they
lying and
wouldn't.
you don't trust them.
They wouldn't have
say
to all
that you-
be. No, of course not.
I don't think they
You
would
can
all
have-
have to be in on it. I think that you could
No.
have like, like the Houston setup, like how the Indians just did their thing. Like when they were doing their thing, I was just like, it looked like such a small.
Dude, everybody
it
does
was
their
so
job.
retro. The whole thing was so retro. Like that could easily be staged.
Yeah,
to
one of
an
my good friends'
audience.
grandfathers worked with Werner von Braun on the Dune.
It would be more realistic if India like crashed into the moon and didn't land on the moon, than if they actually landed on the moon.
No, like think about how many people are a part of an institution that are not in on anything and are just doing their job every day. Like you don't need to have a mass consciousness where everyone's like, ugh. It's just like one guy is just working on a wheel. Another guy is like doing math problems. It's like a lot of it. I see it almost as like how I keep kids doing busy work to like just keep them busy.
So let's say hypothetically that we did land on the moon. Adam Green, why didn't we go back to the moon? Why did we just like touch it and run away from it? If it was such
They
a
went,
win.
they went 6 times. There's nothing there. It cost a lot of money to go, and people decided to spend the money elsewhere.
So
Clearly.
it's a financial issue.
Yep.
You're saying they landed on the moon 6 times.
Yep. They went
Okay.
7. Apollo 13 didn't make it.
So with Moore's law, where everything in technology becomes exponentially cheaper as time goes on, like for example, this has more computing power than all of NASA did all 6 times.
Yeah, but gas is like $5 in California, bro.
Yeah, inflation, everything's more expensive now.
So it's just like they just don't have the
and
money.
they are going back. All of this, we're going to go. We just went back again.
But if it's
we
so
went a few
expensive,
years
why
ago.
would they
They're
go
gonna
back?
land in a few years, and you're going to say that's fake too. We could show you a million photos, endless hours of footage.
They should.
I would believe it if I could go to the
and people are going to double down, just like everybody was.
Like, why don't they have a webcam on it? They have like a webcam in like Lake Arrowhead over here about like the 2 eagles that landed there, and you can like watch them have like eagle sex and make eagle eggs, and then everybody gathers around and they're like, "Oh, I pray," and then they hatch. It's a big thing on the news. Yeah. Like, why don't we have that? It would like rally the people tremendously if we had like a live cam from the moon.
That's what we're doing right now. They were streaming the whole trip. Also, they didn't just cancel the whole program. They shifted the funds to doing other things like the space station, the shuttle program, different telescopes, James Webb, Hubble telescopes. They're doing probes to outside the solar system. So they just shifted to like learn more. And instead of just keep doing the same, driving out to the middle of the desert and playing around in the sand 6 times was probably enough. And now they're going to go back and do way more. And then, Owen, you got to agree, just like everybody, all the flat earthers doubled down after Antarctica, they're going to double down. And there's no amount of proof that would ever appease.
There is proof for me. If I could go to the moon, I would believe it.
You have to go yourself.
Yes. Or they have the ability of going.
How much would you pay for a trip if you had if you were like balling rich, it was like nothing to you? And like at what point does it become available to the public?
I don't know. It depends on how dangerous it was. If it wasn't at all dangerous and I could just crush around with like minimal gravity, I'd obviously pay for that.
The problem I have with all of this is it's become like a anti-science religious cult where they just anything that contradicts with the cosmology of the Bible and a firmament, people reject.
That's not where I'm
and that's why I've seen you talked about the biblical flat earth.
Okay. So what's your definition of science? So you said if it's anti-science, what is science?
Of like understanding the truths about the world, I would say.
Yeah, like the scientific method's pretty specific, right? So what does this have to do with the scientific method in any way?
They use science to understand how rockets work, to understand how gravity works, to be able to every aspect.
Okay, how do they use science to prove gravity? How do they use scientific?
How does your phone work? Is your phone science? Do you trust your phone? Do you use your phone?
No, my phone is not science. It's a phone.
It's a product of science.
I would disagree with that. I'm an engineer. I own my main line of work is in mechanical engineering, and like the phone is science. That is like pure mechanical engineering.
Well, that's not what the word science means.
A product.
The phone
of science,
is a product.
I would say the phone is a product of science.
So an anti-science cult. Mm-hmm. So somebody that is against acquiring data, coming up with a hypothesis, doing experiments, controlled experiments, replicating it, having other people try and rip it apart. Ironically, I believe I'm doing science by trying to rip it apart. That's actually the nature of science, is to disprove things. It's not a faith-based thing.
Oh, and I saw your fall into flat earth. It's documented well online.
Right, because there's no science to the globe.
You're like, your chat full of Flat Earth Dave people. You're like, debunk this. And then you got your answers from Flat Earth Dave. I learned that you had been you revealed that you had never watched a Professor Dave video. Like
I've seen Professor Dave.
Since then. But you had been going to Flat Earth Convention. You've been promoting a bunch of Flat Earthers. You've been promoting Flat Earth, but you never even watched the top debunker or like looked into all the
I got a challenge for you, Adam Green. All right, we got Adam King here. Why don't you come up use AI or something? Come up with 20 questions about the universe, stars, planets, all that stuff, and we can do a quiz and see who knows more about it.
Do you want
Right?
to
I'm
do
not
that?
going
I'll
to
do
do
that.
trivia quizzes. No. I'm not. What's the circumference
No,
of the
no, you're
Earth? How
acting
far is the
like
moon?
I
All those
don't.
tidbits are irrelevant. Those are irrelevant. Flat Earth Dave. Any TikTok viewer can
Dude, come
watch
on,
that with a
man.
low
You're
IQ.
doing
That
ad
means
hominem.
nothing.
You're like, so guilt
You
by
don't know what an ad
association.
hominem
Ad
is. No,
hominem.
it's not. It's not an ad hominem.
You're
Oh,
attacking
dude,
my
Owen.
character based. Adam, come on. This is
Owen,
stupid.
it speaks volumes that you never sought out any of the debunking. You didn't interview any of the debunkers. You didn't watch any
Bro,
of the
I,
top
I,
debunker
I,
videos.
I
You just
I had
believe
a
what
I had a
these con
science
artists
podcast
online
at
said.
Cal.
Okay.
Adam, your
What is the
pitch
name of the
amazing.
galaxy that contains our star system?
The Milky Way.
Milky Way. Okay.
Yeah. No, we're
What
not doing
for?
it. We're not doing a
What force keeps
Jeopardy
the
game.
planets in orbit around the sun?
This is stupid. This is stupid. Don't do that.
Gravity.
Adam
I got
doesn't
that
wanna
one.
do it.
I got that
Adam
one.
doesn't want to do it. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask about Milky Way and gravity. It's emotional response. People have
It's
a
not,
worldview
though.
of cosmology
It's not
where
emotional.
the Bible and they want to say everything's satanic. Flat Earth Dave does this. I've been watching all the
Why don't
Flat
you
Earth
have a
stuff, the
debate
moon
with
landing
Flat Earth
tonight.
Dave?
They say it's
Have a-
all he blocked
Okay.
me and you blocked me or your guy blocked me from the Rumble channel when he was on and I was calling him out for lying about the Antarctica trip. He's a con
I got
artist.
an
He
idea.
used you,
Why
Owen.
don't
He
why
used
don't
your name and your clout and your celebrity to sell hundreds of thousands of apps and make a ton of money. And the guy is a lying grifter that took advantage of you.
I want to hear what
And
Owen's got to say. Hold on. Let's go to Owen.
how about we set up a debate between you and Flat Earth Dave?
Dude, go watch the debate he had with Professor Dave.
But I
and the one
don't
Whitman
care.
had with
Like, this
Professor
has
Dave.
nothing to
They
do
got
with me.
smashed.
All
It's
right.
not even
Hold
the
on. Let's
contest.
move on. Okay. Let's talk about flat
No,
Earth
Adam,
because we're
man.
moving.
I didn't get the point. I still am trying to make the point about the Satanist thing. Okay, like convincing people
I didn't make
that
that point. You're
Okay,
arguing
Owen doesn't
against
think that
somebody-
they're Satanists. Do you think they're Satanists?
Just hear
No,
me
right?
out. Let me talk for a second, okay?
Okay, yeah, please,
If
let's
we are
go.
going to have a discussion and a quote-unquote debate, you can't create arguments for me and then argue against them as I sit here for an hour and a half. Like, and if you say that's rage quitting, I mean, I'm definitely not doing that.
Okay, hold on.
Like, if
So
you're
you
just going
agree
to
that
sit there
it's
and
not.
go,
Hold on, Owen. You agree with me
I
that there's
never
no
made the
Satanist.
argument that it's Satanism.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Then you agree with me
No,
that
but
all
I
the flat
never brought
earthers
that.
and moon landing deniers
so
that say it's a
Let's talk
satanic
about Erika
deception
Kirk.
are wrong. You
Okay,
agree
let's
with me?
talk about Erika Kirk. Let's talk about Erika Kirk.
No. Hold on.
No,
We're
Adam,
trying to- we
no,
gotta
you.
suss
I'm
this
the
out.
moderator. Listen. I'm the moderator.
Dude,
I gotta
I'm not
moderate.
making any of the points that you're arguing against. I don't
heard
trust the
you say
government.
that.
There's no
So you
scientific.
agree with me that you're saying you're not making the claim there's no satanic deception.
When did you
lying
first
about
want
the
to
shape
be
of
a
the earth?
spaceman? Like, when did you get excited about space? Like, what were you?
Good question, Adam. Answer the question.
Not until I saw all these lying conspiracy kooks online spreading obvious disinfo.
Why does
Never
it
thought
bother
about
you
it
so
much
much
until
that
then.
some people don't believe in the moon landing? Like, why does that bother you?
It bothers me when dumb, lying, grifting con artists spew a bunch of lies and make everybody retarded. That's why. And
Do you think it makes people
schizophrenia.
retarded?
There's grandmas, there's vulnerable, susceptible people that are being exploited by tricksters and deceivers and wizards, and they're becoming like schizophrenic and paranoid and delusional that everything's satanic, and not even the world that we live on is what they say it is. And there's all these crazy satanic deceptions that we really went to the moon, and it's nonsense. Those are the wizards. People online, no credentials. Couldn't.
All right,
Let's give Owen a chance to talk. Let's give Owen a chance to talk.
I'm not gonna sit here and you grandstand. Okay, it's stupid. It's boring.
No,
if you want to listen to what I have to say, you have to allow me to speak. All right, you're just rambling. You're just rambling on and on.
Okay, go. I've been quiet.
Between the two of us, you keep saying grifters and con men.
Okay, I'm just gonna mute Adam Green for a minute. Keep going on.
My tax money pays for NASA. So I have to pay income tax every year. And part of that money pays for Don Pettit to go play his didgeridoo in the space station. Go, look at the zodiacal lights. Okay. And that's okay. That's no problem. Nothing someone who doesn't believe in the moon landing costs you a goddamn penny. All right. So if you're going to start saying grifter and con man, there's no income in that at all. In fact, you get called stupid and schizophrenic, and people say that you have no credibility. And Professor Dave is laughing his ass off, rolling on the ground, and all that stuff. It's like there's nothing there. Now, if you want to argue with Professor Flat Earth Dave or any of these people, go ahead. But I'm not. I just don't believe in the moon landing, and I'm not quoting the Bible. I'm just looking at the government. I'm looking at every time in human history, when you have if you find new land, you start colonizing it. You go back, you try to use it financially, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't end there. Everything else technologically has increased since then. So when people say we no longer have the factories or the people with the expertise, they're all gone now. That doesn't exist in any other category I can think of. When you see them lie in ways that are just absurd, where you have someone say we have more technology now in an iPhone than we had then, or all this stuff, I'm just like, I don't believe that. And so for me to not believe it and then to be, my character attacked and say I'm stupid or I'm a liar, that to me is a very low and not a very strong argument. And I don't even understand why anyone would care. Like, I'm not manipulating people. I'm not turning a grandmother into a schizophrenic. Like, these claims are nuts.
All right. So
Originated these lies to do that. And yes,
What?
hold
Flat
on.
Earth Dave and
Okay, hold on. Adam, I'm muting you both for 1 second because there's going to be, you guys are both muted for fairness, but there's got to be some order here because, like, I want to have, like, we are literally 36 minutes in, and I want to take this to, I want to take this conversation all the way. There's things I want to ask. I want to move on to Flat Earth. I don't care about this guy, Scarface Dave, or whatever the fuck his name is. Like, I don't even know these people, or I'm not interested in them. I think that we'll tally the points up on the moon landing. I think you guys both got shots in. You guys both. Adam made some really great points. Maybe we did go. I don't know. I don't know why we didn't find anything there. Like, we find value in everything, but like, I'd buy a moon rock for $10. And we could, like, pay for the world to, like, be fixed with moon rocks. $10 moon rocks, pet rocks. But whatever, doesn't matter. I don't care. We could get back to the moon landing later. We did 30 minutes. We're going to go into Flat Earth. We're going to start the next chapter. I want Owen to explain Flat Earth, and then Adam, you could come in and rebut Flat Earth, and you guys could talk about Flat Earth. But first, I want Owen to give an in-depth, take as much time as you need, but not longer than 2 minutes because we got to move it along. But I want you to explain Flat Earth, the logic behind it, where you're coming from, and then we'll get into debate. Owen, go.
All right. Just first off, in this back and forth, let's not reference other people. Just only what I'm talking about, or else it just becomes so tedious.
Okay.
I'm not a quote unquote flat earther. I am a globe skeptic. And that is a massive difference because I'm not making a claim of the totality of all the heavens and all of earth. I was blown away when I was trying to debunk flat earth. I thought it was a psyop. I thought that it was something to make everyone look stupid. Like, I literally mocked people who said that the earth was flat. I was like, you're literally a moron. And so I was going to debate Eric Dubay, and he still annoys me. But I was going to debate him, and I was going to rip him apart. And I searched and searched and searched to find scientific, like a way that I can show that the Earth is a globe, not, oh, thousands of years ago we did it in Greece. You're so stupid. Oh, NASA. Oh, this or that. It's like I want to do an experiment myself, and it just wasn't there. And so it was a very crazy time in my life. And so I'm not making a claim as the totality of the heavens and the earth. I just no longer believe we are on a ball spinning faster than the speed of sound in a vacuum in an explosion. I think that that's absurd.
Okay. Adam Green,
So you
your
are making a
response.
claim, though. Your claim is that everything we know about our Earth is wrong, and that you're being and that people are lying about it. That is the claim. You can't
No,
say
it's
you're not
not.
making a claim when you're denying everything we know about the Earth.
Who's we?
Humanity.
I mean, just all humanity, everything we know about the Earth?
Yeah, humanity in general.
Cool. So I farm. I'm in the Earth all the time. All right. So everything I know about the Earth, I'm denying, or I don't believe that we're on a spinning ball. And there's nothing in my life where I can observe it or prove it. Like it's not
What about the
here. Like
sun?
I don't see it
What about the
anywhere.
sun? You
What
can,
about
yeah.
the sun?
You can see the curve of the Earth on the eclipse. You can see the sun rise and then fall,
That's with the
set.
assumption. See, if you want to talk about science,
Okay, so
a
what happens? So
logical.
when the sun's in the sky and you watch a sunset over the ocean and it stays the same side, and then a little bit of it's gone, and then half of it's gone, and then it goes underneath. The Earth is rotating.
The
According to
truth
your
is
model.
the
It's
truth
rotating.
is that there is a
According
very
to your
It's
predictable.
going
model.
underneath the horizon and disappearing. It's not going super far away and getting smaller and smaller and smaller like these guys say. You can observe that with your own eyes. There you go. We're rotating on a globe.
That's
Not evidence to me.
what would be evidence to
That's
you,
not how,
Owen.
proving that we're spinning or on a curved globe, like proving that water's curved. I came up with two experiments I would do if I had huge budgets and I could create these
You're like
tools.
complaining about going to the moon, wasting money. Wow.
No, I'll tell you what I would do.
If you had moon budgets for this, what would you build for a moon budget?
So this is what I don't know how to build this instrument, but fractally, if we're on a curved ball and it's because there's a center of gravity and it's the size of the Earth, even a 1 inch would be curved. It's just an issue of scale. Okay, so if there's 8 inches of curve for a mile, then there would be a curve with 1 inch. So I would take, I don't know, like a swimming pool and try and prove a curve in it, but that would require such like sensitive instrumentation that it doesn't exist and I wouldn't know how to build it. So I'm at a loss. Another example I had was two ships, 20 miles with, and they're not rocking or anything. And the lasers are going straight up. And you have like somehow you have like balloons or something, and you figure out if they're parallel 100 miles up. Like those are the two, those are the two experiments I thought up, and I just don't have the time or money to do it, but that could prove it. And
Like, what if you
yeah,
put a balloon? What if you put a balloon?
why are you
with
shaking your head? That's a great idea.
What if you put a balloon? Well, I mean, they do that kind of stuff. There's I happen to be like autistically obsessed with balloon technology,
Oh,
and
boy.
I'm obsessed with airships and helium. It's like a crazy obsession, but I really do have this obsession.
No, I know.
I'm not trying.
I like airships.
I'm not
too.
trying
I
to
like
join the
airships.
debate, but I do know that
No, it's just I know
the
you
highest
love
balloon,
balloons.
the highest plane can go to 30,000 feet, and the
Okay.
highest
Oh,
balloon can
another
go to
way.
60,000
Hold on. Let's not
feet.
get into moon science. Another the proofs that we know that you can see with your own eyes: the sun setting over the ocean or over the horizon.
That's
You
not a
can
scientific
call up
experiment.
somebody
That's
that's
an
on the.
observation.
You can be on the West Coast. And then you can call somebody on the East Coast, and the sun is
Okay.
set and it's dark out. It's still sunny out because we're on a curve and because we're
That's
rotating.
an observation. That's not proof. That's
Dude,
so
observation.
you want to talk about being an
Yes, you can make a
anti-science
theory,
cult?
you can have an understanding, and you observe, and it matches the hypothesis. That's how you know that it's true, Owen. You can go
That's
to
called
the
a
North
mind
Pole.
experiment. It's not.
You can go to the northern hemisphere and look towards the north, and the stars rotate in one direction. And you can go to the southern hemisphere and look at the South Pole, and they rotate in the other direction. That's only possible on a globe Earth rotating. You can
That's a
have the
logic fallacy.
24-hour
That's not a
Okay,
sun.
logic fallacy.
so hold on,
Antarctica.
Adam Green.
That's a
In
logic.
that
That's a logic
context,
fallacy.
what is Antarctica? Adam Green.
No, but
Antarctica is the landmass covered in ice at our South Pole. And if you go there because we're on a tilt on our axis, in winter or summer, it's a 24-hour sun, and then the opposite, it's 24-hour dark.
Why do you think they not?
Hold on.
Why
The
do they
flat
not let
earthers
anybody
hold on,
there?
Adam, I got to finish the point. The flat earthers for years said you can't go down there. They'll attack you and arrest you with guns. And if you can't go because there's no 24-hour sun. A bunch of the flat earthers went. The biggest influencers went, although Flat Earth Dave denied going, and then is still
there it is. He's already bringing up Flat Earth Dave.
We're talking about the big experiment, and I'm pointing
That's the
out
one
number
thing
one
I asked you
advocate
not to
didn't
do.
want to
Okay.
go because
All
he
right.
doesn't want
Cool.
the truth because he's a fraud.
Okay.
All right. So the
All right.
scientific method, just please understand this. What you're saying are observations. So you get empirical observations with your sight, your smell, your hands, your touch, your sound. And you say, like, the sun does this at night. I call my friend on the East Coast, and it's. Can I just finish? Can I just
Hold
finish?
on. Hold on. I gotta mute you, Adam Green. I gotta mute you because he's gonna finish.
So you made the claim that this is somehow an anti-science cult. The scientific method is not making observations and thinking, well, it has to be this. You set up an experiment. You predict what it's going to be, and then you replicate it. Then you have all your friends try and rip it apart. You criticize it, you try and disprove it, and over time, if it stays strong, it becomes a theory. And then over time, it becomes a law. That's how science actually works. So, what you just made the observation that the sun or the moon in different phases is the shadow of the earth. That the sun goes on this side of the earth. Okay, just what else did you say? You said, oh, let's just stick to the thing you just said. It's that the sun, it's going down. It looks like it's going down over the horizon. And so what you did was something called a logic fallacy, where you just, I can't remember the name of the fallacy. Is it duality fallacy, where there's only two options, like Coke or Pepsi? But it's like, but you're saying it must be a globe. What else could it be? And then what you do is you try to make everyone else prove your thing isn't true. Where in science you would come up with an experiment to then prove your point. So the experiment with the lasers and the balloons before Adam King autistically started talking about his balloon obsession, that you would make a prediction, say at 100 miles, those two lasers would be parallel or not parallel, or they would be obtuse at this angle, given 8 inches per mile. And if you do that test and it comes out accurate, then you start proving your hypothesis. The fact that you don't feel any desire whatsoever to do an experiment with a control means you're not doing science, you're doing faith, you're doing religion.
Okay. Hold on, Adam Green. I'm gonna end this flat Earth segment. I'm gonna just say one thing. I'm unmuting you, but hold on 1 second. We're gonna. I have a question for Owen Benjamin. So in the Jewish tradition, we like keep the holidays. Like tonight, the holiday begins at a very specific time. So tonight it starts at when the sun. It's called Shkia, when the sun completely folds over the horizon. So today that's at 7:20. Yesterday, Shkia, from the location where I'm living in right now, yesterday it was 7:19 and 55 seconds. Today it's from my house, geographically pinned to my house. Today it's 7:20 and 42 seconds. And I admit, like, I sit there with the watch and I watch it because I'm Jewish and we do that. And it's just a thing. And it's like, we do know every single time. So, like observational science on Benjamin, like wouldn't that constitute a proof under the same?
No,
like,
but I will give Adam Green something that just popped in my head. The globe as a model can function pretty well.
Perfect.
And for example, the flat Earth model that Dave pushes and stuff.
We're not going to talk about anybody, bro.
No. I'm giving him something.
We're not talking about Dave. Okay, we're not talking about Dave.
No. But hear me out. So,
okay,
what's going on in the sky doesn't actually have anything to do with the shape or spin of the Earth. It just isn't. But no. It truly doesn't on a logical sense. But if I've never been to the equator.
Hold on, Owen, that's wrong. Can I stop you? I gotta correct that. That's wrong. The stars rotating one way in the north and the other way in the south can only happen on a globe.
That's not true. As soon as you say it can only happen on blah, blah, blah.
Owen,
hold on, let Owen finish. Owen's feeling like he's not getting finishing time. Let him finish.
No, it's fine. It's just, you can believe whatever you want, man. I'm just letting you know that like an observation isn't a proof. It can be a suggestion. I can't think of how that happens on the quote unquote flat Earth model. So it's like, if it is true, and I know people that have lived at the equator, and it does look like there's a curve towards the north like this, and a curve towards the south like this, and to me that doesn't the globe does actually fit that more. And I don't understand how that would work. That again, that's not proof, but as a model, that phenomenon would make more sense in that model. That's why I don't have a claimed model. And so when you're talking about predictive, like what Adam King was just talking about with his Jewish holidays, yeah, there does seem to be a good element of predictability with a lot of with the globe model. And so, but a model isn't reality; it's a predictive model, you know. And so, I'm not like die hard. I'm just like I don't see any way to scientifically prove a spinning ball, and it doesn't appear that way to me. But I don't know what it is. Like I
What about all
don't
the
know.
photos, Owen? What about all the satellites, all the space missions?
I don't know what
Okay, hold on.
what.
Why is it impossible? Hold on. Why is it impossible? Why is it so hard for you to accept that rockets are real, and if you go up high enough and take a picture, you can see the curve in the globe? Why is that impossible?
Okay. What? Like so I
Why do you
He might
dismiss
he
that?
might
so why
actually
is it
he
so
might actually
hard
think
for
that.
me to accept? Like what do you mean?
All the photos,
All the
the
photos.
satellites, the satellite
All
photos,
the
the space station photos, the videos.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting
all the
because people say
missions.
they can see the curve from a curve from the plane, which according to Steel to Bike Tyson, you can't see the curve till
No.
130,000
That's
feet.
low Earth orbit. That guy was on a he jumped from that high. That was very low. That's why he said that. We
So
already went over that last time.
so we couldn't
Where
last
does the
time.
sun go at night?
What?
Where does the sun go at night, Owen?
Just let's stick on what you just said. You said I deny all the photos. So it's like
On any other
it,
model besides the globe model, where does the sun go at night?
no, you brought up something and we're gonna finish it before we talk about where the sun goes at night. So the photos at what altitude can you see the curve?
I think it's 130,000 feet.
Something around there, yeah.
What is it?
130,000.
You start to see it very little at around
At 130,000 feet.
130,000, yeah.
Okay, so what photo am I denying? Like, what photo am I denying?
Okay, hold
Other
on.
than that, it show
What?
Look,
You called me a photo
all the
denier.
photos that show a curve.
Over 130,000 feet?
Yeah.
Where are these photos?
Why is that impossible? You don't think you can go higher than that? Rockets can't go that high?
no, you hit the
I have
rakia.
no idea. Like, what do you?
Well,
What
you don't believe in a
photo am I
firmament, right?
denying?
Since
Okay,
you're
I don't
not
know
a
the
biblical
photo
flat
either.
earther,
Guys,
you don't
I don't
know
care
either.
about this
No,
flat
you
earth
called
thing
me
anymore. I think we're
a
derailing. I
photo
want to move
denier.
forward to a better topic, okay? I want to know about Erika Kirk because
I wasn't done. Hold on. I wasn't
okay,
done. I don't
say
want
your
to
piece.
Adam's not
Adam
done.
Green, close out the chapter, and then we're gonna go to Erika Kirk. I want to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Adam Green, close out the chapter.
Okay, number one, you got the stages, the phases of the moon wrong. It's not the shadow from the Earth. That's an eclipse. It's the angle of where we're at, the sun's at, and the moon's at, and it changes. That's what
So
it
it's
is.
not
The angle
okay.
of it. So the moon is a sphere. All the other planets are spheres. The sun is a sphere, and we're a sphere. That's another thing you could do with the naked eye and see. A sphere is a natural, balanced form that happens in nature. Another proof. The other proof for flat Earth, Coriolis effect with snipers that Owen says doesn't exist, but we found the YouTube videos and showed him of them factoring that in and how they factor that
and
in.
I responded, and you never
No.
like addressed the response.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
Eclipses, tides, how they're able to predict the exact high and low and king's tides and all the tides. You're right. The globe model is perfect prediction power, and it is science because they make observations, they create a model, it fits the hypothesis, and you can do all of this with your own little models at the Space Museum or ordering something off of Amazon.
Dude,
There
I'm
is no
happy for
flat
you.
Earth model. There is no other model. There's no
I'm
competing model
happy
at
for
all.
you. I'm happy for your model, but so my friends that have killed tons of people as professional snipers, they're wrong too. Like you know more about like being a sniper, than they don't factor in the spin or curve of the Earth. They don't.
Maybe not on very long shots, and even on long shots, it's very little, but they do. There's YouTube
No,
videos
they
of gun
don't.
experts and snipers
Okay.
talking about it. We found the number one Chris Kyle sniper talking about how they have to factor in the spin of the Earth. Even you said you'll never find a sniper saying it. We found a bunch of them, and you dismissed them.
Okay, so then I had a follow-up question that I don't think you really thought about. So you're telling me that snipers' protocol is to factor in their latitude and direction?
Yeah.
And so what is the equation they're using? Like, so have you ever
Fuck if I
found
know.
because it
Fuck
doesn't
if you know.
exist.
Fuck if I know. Yeah,
No, because it doesn't exist.
it does. Just
Okay,
because you
okay.
don't
If you're
understand it
factoring,
doesn't mean it doesn't
no,
exist, Owen.
It's so simple. If you're aiming south, west, east, or north, right? That direction determines like how the spin would affect it. So if you're aiming due south and it's spinning east to west, it would be like, if you're aiming east, that would affect it completely different. There wouldn't be a horizontal move.
And
So
they factor all that in the calculations.
Adam, they absolutely don't. And I live in North Idaho. I'm friends with a lot of gun experts and trainers.
Anecdotal fallacy.
Do they, Owen Benjamin?
You said that they factored in. And
I would be curious to know, somebody in the DMs, somebody in the comments or the super chats, if they're a sniper, if you guys if you shoot different facing south or facing east or west or north, like.
And the latitude, because you're spinning at over 1,000 miles an hour at the equator and 0 at the North Pole. So you would be doing really advanced calculus because the spotter factors in everything.
I don't think you need to like
altitude.
do the math and like chart the trajectory. It's more like instinct, you know. Like I would imagine.
No, it's not.
If I was shooting south and the Earth is spinning, I would just like back up just a hair if that was real. If science told me, hey, it's real, do 1/4 of an inch, I'd be like, okay, I'd do 1/4 of an inch.
Okay, there's
something
called
something
a spotter.
that you should be able to prove on like in Las Vegas, like on one of those shooting ranges.
Right. There's something called a spotter that works with the
And
sniper.
if that's the case, then technically you'd be able to prove if the Earth is round just with a gun.
Right. So I have a spotter scope, and the spotter does a lot of the calculations for the sniper. So you know the altitude, the barometric pressure, the wind speed, everything is factored in. What's never factored in is what latitude you're on and what direction you're shooting. And that's a fact, and that's not anecdotal, and that's not proof it's flat. It's just not proof it's a spinning ball. Because I looked into that. I didn't want it to be not a ball. I didn't want more ostracization. You know, I didn't want to be seen as a schizophrenic. And it's like there's nothing there. And I am very, very close with some highly decorated killer snipers who are literally flat earthers. And they're like, there is no factoring the spin. And then people will say, but check out this YouTube video. And it's like, okay, man.
Yeah, from professional snipers. Just because you talked to a sniper that said they didn't do that doesn't mean nobody does it. You asked for proof. We showed you the proof. I got it on my screen right now if you want to see it.
So you're saying
most famous sniper there is.
Okay, Chris Kyle. Is that who you're referring to?
Yeah.
Okay. Look into Chris Kyle too.
Oh, satanic conspiracy, huh?
No, it's not satanic. He's been caught lying.
He's lying.
Isn't that the
Chris
guy
Kyle,
that said he shot
15 years ago, talked about the Coriolis effect to debunk Owen Benjamin a decade later.
Okay, man.
All right, let's talk.
Right, let's
okay,
go to Erika.
Erika Kirk.
The joke. What
Owen,
I was
can
referencing.
I apologize for a second? Hold on, Owen. I think you just have.
Why would you?
You're lashing out against your father. He was an academic, so you just resist anybody, any professional, any academics, any scholars. You reject what they say. I think it's a daddy.
No, Chris Kyle said he shot 50 people during a hurricane. That was the point I was making. You jumped to satanic conspiracy theory and that psychoanalyzed my father because you're probably gay yourself.
All right, next subject.
Projection, narcissistic projection.
Okay.
Which part?
Muting both of you guys for the next 2 seconds so I could get a little bit of me time in here. Just 2 seconds. This is a great debate, you guys. I really, for the sake of your sanity, you guys should probably keep each other blocked. But it would be great to like have this debate go on in the longer. But hold on. I know you guys never blocked each other. Hold on. No. I want to move to Erika Kirk. We got to move to Erika Kirk because we're at the 1 hour mark right now anyway. So we've been really good about keeping 30 minutes on the moon, 30 minutes on flat Earth. That got a little bit crazy. Combuster Boy Dave is not getting any more shout outs in the next segment. We're gonna talk about Erika Kirk? Because I know on the internet this has been a great deal of contention between you guys, and you know, there's an entire group of people on the internet who believe that the narrative is of Tyler Robinson is not true, you know, and that's whatever their right to believe. And then there's an entire group of people that are just like, you know, desecrating Erika Kirk in public, and it's becoming like a thing. And so I want to talk about it. I want to bring up some stuff. Owen, let's start with you. What's your take on the situation, and why do you feel that, like, because you have come on really hot on Erika on some stuff, like what
Just
It's been
just
so
real
cruel.
quick, just check out Chris Kyle and look at fabrications. It's so funny.
okay?
There's like, okay, he claimed that he
You
shot.
guys want to
30
talk about Chris
people.
Kyle again? Come on.
No, it's just really funny that that's who he referenced.
There's many more besides him.
Okay, guys, let's talk about
He said that. Okay, Erika Kirk. Sure.
Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk.
What I want to know from Adam
You
Green
guys are
is
spurging on Chris Kyle.
is what's it like to be a hero, man? It's like when you stand up for Erika Kirk.
Yeah, it feels incredible.
Like, does it feel good? Like when you come in like on a horse and you're like,
well, the
"How
Bible
dare
does
you?"
command us to defend the widow and the orphan, and here
The
we do have
widows.
two widow,
Yeah.
a widow
I-
and
What
an
about
orphan.
black? What about okay?
It's sad that these vicious lies
They are
of
very
abusing and
vicious.
harassing a grieving widow makes me
she's
proud to
grieving.
white knight and simp. Actually, it makes me sad that I have to these attacks on her are so baseless and ridiculous that it makes me have to side with Turning Point. It's actually I'm disappointed in that, but yeah, I like standing up to bullies who are harassing a grieving widow who lost the father of her young children, who was assassinated, who was a hotshot that might have been president one day. And I don't think she's taking any pleasure in it. I think she is grieving. She's a little awkward. And what made Owen block me the other day was he did a tweet that went very viral saying,
I just retweeted it if you want to check it
he
out.
did the caption "grieving widow" with a 10-year-old photo of Erika, like out with some friends sitting on some girl's lap. And then everybody attacked him. He put the replies on mute. He got community noted. Everybody was disgusted with this attack. And if it was you died and your wife was being attacked, I would white knight for Amy too, Owen. I think it's wrong.
Thanks,
I think Candace is evil for doing it, and she's just vindictive and jealous for something.
Oh, and do you think Candace is evil?
No,
Yeah.
I'm going to respond to what he just said first, right?
But first,
Like,
yes or
isn't
no,
that-
is Candace evil?
You better leave my blue-eyed Aryan queen alone with these slanderous lies, Owen.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, so-
Arian's this, Arian's that. Is Candace Owens evil because of what
No.
she's doing? You think
No, I think
she's
doing
not
a
evil?
great job. Yeah, I think she's doing.
You think she's
and I
doing
make
a
She's
fun.
been
great
wrong
job.
about everything, Owen. Wrong about the Egyptian planes.
What
Wrong
about when
him
she
on
said
the
that I
Puerto
killed
Rican
Charlie
Letterman.
Kirk? What
Wrong
about when she
him
said that
being
I
at the
killed Charlie
Hampton
Kirk?
thing. Wrong about the Hampton thing.
She's
being
done it
threatening.
4
Wrong about
times,
the
man.
Shut up, Adam. Wrong about the Netanyahu letter to Charlie. She's wrong about Mitch Snow and the secret meeting. She's been wrong about everything. She's a lunatic. Go back to when you used to make fun of her, Owen. Owen, you can redeem yourself. Just call out all these frauds. Actually expose the real wizards. The real wizardry. You could help me expose the wizards that created Christianity, for one. Everything's a conspiracy, but that's where we really got to slay wizards.
So what's
No,
the
but seriously,
question?
why do you think what she's doing is good? Like, and it is okay. You can change course. Like,
So now this is about Candace Owens, or is it about Erika Kirk?
well,
Or is it
I
about-
asked it. I
encouraging-
asked about
You're
Candace
egging
Owens,
on
Okay, so
Candace
no,
in
and
her
you
no,
made
I'm
it.
gonna
You made a
resist
defense
Adam-
of her, so I responded.
campaign against.
All right, you guys ready? So Adam Green just said that I did this attack, this defenseless, this poor widow, that there was a 10-year-old photo where she was looking like a slut, right? And that I made it look like
No, she was not looking like a slut. That's total projection, Owen.
the
There's
guy was
nothing
doing
about her
it.
that was a slut in that vote. That you said she was ran through. Like, this sounds like some weird insecurity stuff.
So do you guys need to get some shit off your chest? Because you guys, if you want to
Do
just
you?
keep talking, go ahead.
You?
No, you're not letting me respond. I said 8 words, and you're like, no,
go ahead.
Owen. The guy was definitely not hammer gripping and meat tugging. It's like, dude, she looked slutty in that photo. She did. She like there was a chick grabbing her tit. The guy looked like he was
Yeah, but it's
grabbing
like a
his hammer.
10-year-old photo. It's like, I mean,
No
like,
shit. The entire I explained my point, and you guys won't acknowledge it. It said Mrs. Erika Kirk. That means that photo was up on her social media while she was married. Now, you guys are city folk. I get it. I was showing that she just is slutty, and I thought it was
So
pretty
she's
funny.
not grieving because she was out with some friends and sitting on one of her friends' laps, fully clothed, smiling for a photo. So
She
she's
was
not
married
grieving.
while she was married.
But it was 10 years ago.
No, that
It was 10
before
years
she even
ago,
met
though.
Charlie. That was before she met
Okay,
Charlie.
listen. I get it, guys. We have different views.
No, but I mean, that is like calling back 10 years. Like, hey,
No, but it was on her social media while she was married to that poor sweet boy.
So
So why would she
I
go
have
back
so
and
much
delete it? There's
social media
nothing
that I
wrong
don't
with
even
it.
know that's out there.
Why would she go
What?
back and delete
Don't
some
look for my
harmless photo of her
MySpace.
out with her friends? Why would she do that? That's
'Cause she's
ridiculous.
married, and why would she want to look like she was getting fucked by a bunch of guys?
She wasn't. That's not what the photo looked like. You're completely
She
manufacturing
definitely.
that.
It looks like okay. Maybe I'm projecting. Maybe you're right, man. But I look at that photo, and it looks to me like somebody had herself.
So like,
some
why do you gotta?
sausage.
What do you even gotta? If it's a 10-year-old photo, like, what do you even gotta do? Like, why does
Yeah.
that
What
have
does
to
it
do
have
with
to do with
now?
grieving? Exactly.
Yeah,
Assuming
like,
you're
what does
right.
it have
She
to do
was
with like
getting,
right
she got
now?
gangbanged that
'Cause
night.
I
at
thought
10
I
years
thought it
ago.
was fun.
What does that have to do with her grieving about her murdered husband, Owen?
Yeah, like,
thought
why
it was
join in the
funny.
choir of that? You know?
Because I
It's
thought
not
it was
funny.
super funny.
Seeing everybody attack a grieving widow
It's-
who his husband
dude,
got
dude,
assassinated is
go.
not funny.
It's not funny, Owen. Like say it like
It's not.
that.
You hate it. You
Just
hate
go,
that. You hate to hear that.
No, I don't.
It's not.
It
though.
isn't
It's
really
not.
funny, Owen.
It's
It
not.
isn't
funny,
really
guys.
funny.
Hey guys, hey.
It isn't really
not-
funny, and I'll tell you why it's not
funny. Hey.
No, I'll tell you
not
why
funny.
it's not funny.
Hey.
The third time I
not-
ever had to call the
hey.
police
Whoa.
and get the police in
Not-
my life was because of
Hey,
the death
man.
threats that I received from the crazy lunatics that Candace gassed up that I was the one who offered Charlie $150 million or else. And she even wrote it in writing. She 3 times on her show, and 1 time she put it in writing. And she sent mobs of fucking goon squads to me. And I had to even get the police here. It was so embarrassing with my neighbors. So fucking embarrassing. I shouldn't have to live through that. Fuck you, Candace. You piece of shit, lying sack of shit. And you
Hey, man,
parade around on
like-
your fucking Easter with your fucking loser friends. Fuck you. And I do say that to Erika Kirk because imagine what she's going through. As a grieving widow, if I'm just getting
Aren't
the
you
fucking
moderator?
I'm
Are
getting
you a
the goon
moderator?
squad. I'm on
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
left field. I wasn't even at the Hampton Summit, and
was
I'm getting the
stolen.
goon squad. She must be getting the whole fucking goon cavalry.
Oh my god.
And she's a grieving widow.
Just let me know when you're done.
I'm done. You can
My bike
respond.
was stolen in 1991 by one of them, and you don't give a fuck. You're just worried. In 1991, my bike was stolen. All right, and they were black. Candace Owens is also black, so we're both victims. Okay, you guys keep saying grieving widow, grieving widow.
This
grieving
is who
widow.
we're up
Erika-
against. These are the people on the internet who get like
That-
millions of views. They say the stupid shit like this. I'm sorry, I'm not in the debate. I'm gonna just moderate. It's
listen,
triggering. I'm triggered.
Why don't you kick your feet up and tell me, like, how did it make you feel when there was a goon squad? Like, did you feel upset or did you?
Well, it made me
what
feel
happened?
like I'm a writer for God.
Good.
And like if I have to get the story where local man stops goon squad on the news, I think it would be fucked up. I don't want it. I don't want that challenge, but it's something that I live with.
That's right.
And it's real. And
That's
like
right.
you don't have that, like being, the king of Bertaria off in the woods. But I
Yeah,
do
man.
as awesome Jew. And the goon squad came after me about the Thomas Massey shit. The goon squad came after me about every fucking person. I still had the balls to get into the ring with Jake Shields. Fuck everyone.
There you go.
Fuck
'em
everyone
all,
and
man.
Candace Owens. You asked me what did I feel when the goon squad came after me. They send the messages, but they hide behind the anonymous accounts.
Mhm.
They have like the Google
What do you want to
chains.
say to them right now if they're listening? You tell them. What do you want to say to this goon squad?
I want to say to the goons that Erika Kirk is off limits.
Mm-mm.
And if you're targeting Erika Kirk, you're a goon.
I
There
would
it
say
is.
she's not off limits. I don't think that's the right thing.
You
It's
can't
just
make
that
fun of a
limits.
widow
things
like
that
that.
people
You
are
can't.
saying about her
What
are
they're doing?
baseless.
Can I
Pulling
fucking
her
tell
through
you
the
what I
streets.
think or no? You ready to shut the fuck up or
You
no?
can tell me what
Or do
you
you want
think.
to talk
Yeah.
about how
There
embarrassing
are
it is to be this
consequences
slut?
in the world for social influencers who influence
Jesus
the
Christ,
public
dude, you're so
to
fucking
violence.
annoying.
Let him go. I want to hear. Let's lay out the. Let him go. Let's hear what he thinks about her.
You guys keep saying this grieving widow. Erika Kirk is the CEO of a 9-figure corporation. She is active in politics and active in religion and on a book tour. Okay? She is a propagandist. When you talk about the Bible saying lay off the widows, women weren't the head of these giant media companies. Okay? She is in the public sphere. She's not a private citizen. She tells people how to live. She influences politics in my country. All right. She is part of a nonprofit that doesn't have to pay taxes. And she's made millions of dollars on it. Okay. Her husband dies. Her behavior is fucking psychotic. And you can view it any way you want. The way she's acted, how she wore the leather pants and was all like the way she said that if Charlie had a decision, he would stay dead because of the movement that was launched from that. Talk about imagine being one of his kids, all right? And you see your mom say that dad doesn't want to be your dad. He wants to stay dead so that we can fucking spread the good word of the Lord or some shit. She's on a book tour. She's pushing all this shit. She's not a fucking grieving widow.
His
Bro,
book.
You're
I gotta
acting
t-
like
Yes, she is. None of
gotta
that
tell
means
you
doesn't mean
something.
she's a
Okay,
grieving
man.
widow.
I have
She's
somebody
a
in my
grieving
life.
widow that works 80 hours a fucking week and as the CEO of a media company. Horse
Sometimes
shit.
people suffer a trauma and then just work harder and get and
Yeah, and I gotta.
Okay.
I want to give you guys a real proof of real life. I have somebody
that
that I
could be
love
part of
deep
the
in my
grieving.
life.
Hold on, hold
They-
on,
Dude, I
hold on.
literally
Adam.
used to
This is a
defend her
debate.
in the
Let
beginning.
me
I said the same thing. I said everyone grieves differently. Don't attack Erika Kirk. Dude, people
Right.
were attacking her at the beginning, and I was like, she's holding on, man. Her husband just died. Like, sometimes people get manically like alcoholic vibe when they suffer tragedy. You can go back to my Twitter for like a month. I was fighting with people. I was mocking Candace Owens. I was like, this woman just lost her husband. As time went on, I started being like, she's being manipulative. She's profiting. She's all this shit. I have no idea what you went through with Candace Owens, Adam King. Like, I don't even know what you're referencing. That's why I'm being so dismissive. When you keep saying like Candace this, Candace that, I'm not up on all the gossip and shit.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to talk about Erika Kirk. So if you've been through stuff where people are like coming to your residence, that's horrible. And obviously I'm not condoning that. When I say Candace Owens, in my opinion, is an evil, that's a pretty big thing to say about somebody. I don't I don't think either of you are at all evil. I don't just call people evil. Like evil to me is somebody that I think is like aware and they're like intentionally making something beautiful ugly and something true false. Like there's intention there. And so I would not say that about these. It would take a lot for me to say that about somebody. I can't even think of someone off the top of my head that I know for a fact is like evil.
Adam Green.
Oh, you say she's like going on a book tour. She's promoting her dead husband's book that he couldn't go on the book tour. That makes perfect sense. That's part of the grieving process. Is her
Mm.
he had interviews set up to promote the book. She goes and does them because he can't do them. Makes perfect sense. Like you said that
Okay.
she's acting psychotic. I think that's subjective. You don't know how people would act. Maybe she's a little awkward. Maybe they had some fireworks somewhere or some, what are the whatever those things are called. None of this is proof at all that she's not grieving, or that she
I
was
never said
involved
she's
in her
not
husband's
grieving. She
death.
doesn't look like she's grieving. She looks like she's
You see
she's
her
not
on
trying to
TV in
find
short little segments, though. You do you see her,
she
on
seems
her
she
off
doesn't
day?
see okay, the 30-06 thing to me is a problem. And if again, no one knows what anyone else is going through. If I would want to know who killed my husband or wife or whatever, And that wound is not a 30-06 wound. And that's my whole issue. I don't
Sure it is.
know who did it. Okay. It's not,
Sure,
but
sure it is. Yeah, yeah. There's been plenty of ballistics experts that say sometimes, especially on the type of round, if it's hollow point or if it's soft point, it breaks up when it hits the skin and doesn't have an exit wound. Like they have the guy arrested. There's all the evidence in the world that he did it. DNA,
I
family
don't think
turned him
so.
in. The boyfriend's going to testify. They got him on camera. They got all the evidence. It hasn't even been to trial yet, and everybody is accusing his wife of being involved in it because of a bunch of internet opportunists like Candace and Stu Peters and Jimmy Dore and others that are promoting this. Owen, you know all too well about how internet people and A-logs and trolls make up a bunch of delusional conspiracies about you and accuse you of all sorts of horrendous shit. And then you're going to turn around and do it to her after she just suffered a loss like that. It's in bad taste. Just because she's the
It's not in
CEO of
bad
a
taste.
company,
I
just
just don't
because,
want
hold
me to
on,
tell you what I think or no?
can I finish my sentence and then yes? Just because
Sure.
she's the head of TPUSA or she's on Fox News or she's on stage with Trump or something, that doesn't mean that it's open season that you can just make up whatever malicious lies
I'm
you
not
want
making
about
up
somebody,
shit.
and it's
I'm
not
not
in
making.
bad
What am I
taste.
making up? I'm not
That
making
she's
up
not
anything.
grieving, that she's not grieving, and that
I
she's
never
like
said
happy.
she's not grieving.
Your
You
post
just
said
said that she's not grieving the
grieving
way that you would
widow,
want her to
mocking
grieve.
the idea
It
that she's
doesn't look
grieving.
like she's grieving, right? I'm a comedian. I make
It
fun of
does.
things that I think.
So
Like
you
I
are
don't
saying
think
that
she's
she
grieving.
isn't grieving.
I don't. It doesn't appear she's grieving to me. It looks. And the issue I have is
If
that they
you
didn't.
were in you're in the public eye,
Okay.
and like
Let
if
him
you
finish,
were,
Adam. Let him finish. Let him finish. You cut him off, please.
The reason all these conspiracy theories are percolating is because they ended the investigation really quickly. And there's no way to investigate if there isn't like an enforcement agency to
well, the
look into
reason
it.
why they're happening is because Candace talks about them every single day, nonstop.
Yeah, and that hasn't even gone to trial yet. All the evidence is going to come out with the prosecution in the trial.
They're like literally
what's the-
trying to
so the-
vindicate the number
hasn't
one
ended?
suspect. She spends every day trying to vindicate in the public eye the number one suspect in the homicide.
I don't think Tyler Robinson did it. I don't think it's even possible that he did it. And America's standard is beyond a reasonable doubt. It's just like the 30-06 wound, in my opinion, is impossible. But if it is possible, I'd love to see it. I've never seen it look like that. Like it would blow someone's head off. And I have a 30-06.
So you think
the round is it's like this big. It's a massive round. To not have an exit wound is nuts. Okay,
so Owen, you think this sophisticated psyop, they planted the wrong gun? They couldn't
want
fool
me to
the goyim,
finish or
the
no?
internet.
You want
They couldn't fool Candace Owens. They used the
so
wrong
the evidence
gun.
is they didn't use the right. So your evidence for it,
They
wanna
planted a gun,
execute-
and it doesn't match what the wound should look like.
I have no idea what happened. I'm just telling you the evidence about Tyler Robinson. They said that he assembled and disassembled a gun on a roof. So that means he had to zero the scope like on a roof like that. Like any gun guy knows that the claims are absurd. They have this image of him where you don't see a rifle. They say it's in his pants, disassembled, or it's in his backpack. That's insane.
No, it's
I don't
not.
know
I'm
anyone
just
that can
saying
do
it's
that.
insane. I've seen plenty of experts explain how it's completely plausible. The
You keep
story that they've
referencing
given
these
us.
experts. I'm telling you, like, so you're telling me that he put together.
What's the quickest you could take apart a
30-06.
rifle like that?
I personally have never taken apart a rifle like that, but someone might be able to. I know special forces guys that couldn't do what they claim.
Well,
And he's
maybe
like
he
this
didn't. Maybe
nerdy
that's a
guy.
misconception that he disassembled it on the roof.
Right, because the main evidence is this image where he's wearing shades and he doesn't have a rifle, and they said
That
he had
makes
a
sense
rifle
that
at
he
that
put
point.
it in his pants if he didn't disassemble it on the roof.
Yeah.
But I don't see it in his pants. There's no. So you guys don't see what I'm saying? Like you don't see a rifle on his body, and it's like
Saw the
I mean,
rifle
there's
in
a
Michelle Obama's pants. No,
I
I'm
saw it in
just
his
There it
pants.
is.
Yeah, he was
There's my
walking. He was walking like he had something stiff in his pant leg.
But you didn't see a rifle.
Yeah, and you see him throw it down before he jumped off the roof.
Where I never saw that. He threw a rifle off the. You could see the rifle or no?
Yeah. Yeah, you can barely make it out in the low quality zoomed in footage, but it's a rifle wrapped in a towel. You can see him toss it down before he jumps.
So how do you know it's a rifle and a towel?
Because that's what they found in the woods.
See, to me, that's not evidence to convict anybody.
Well, he's going to be convicted, and
So
then
you're signing off on killing a guy based on that image?
I mean, also like his father said so, and like he turned himself in.
father,
I want to read the
communication,
testimony. I want to
next to
read
him.
that.
DNA.
There is definitely evidence that ties him to the scene. He's not.
So what
like,
did his father say? Like, where can I read what his father said?
I think that the whole world is
He'll
going to
probably
see the
testify.
trial.
So you haven't read what his father said. You don't know what his father said.
Yeah, that he saw the gun on the news, right? And then
Yeah,
said,
he
"Where
said
is
he
it?"
saw his father. He said that his
They
father's
never
gun
put
was
the
missing.
gun on the news.
His father's gun was missing, is what he said, and he was
No,
looking
Adam
for the
Green
gun.
just said that he saw the gun on the news. They never showed the gun on the news. They showed
Yeah,
a
they
stock
did.
image. Of
I saw a picture
no,
of
they
it.
didn't. They showed a stock image of a gun on the news. They didn't show his gun on the news. Fact. Look it up right now. No, it's a fact. They
What's his
never
name
showed.
again?
Adam, you want to fact check him?
What's his
Fact check
name?
it.
Tyler.
Robinson.
Tyler Robinson. And if I'm right, like, respond like a real person. Like, you don't have to just steamroll it. So you guys say that his father said he's guilty, but you don't know what his father said. Like, where can
I also
read
know that
what
there's
his
like,
son-
I also know that like they've alluded to, there's been like press releases that the situation is much more complex than just a Tyler Robinson lone shooter. You know, Cash Patel's made comments. I don't follow this story, the Charlie Kirk assassination, like at the edge of my seat. Like it's
Yeah,
not
I'm not
something.
either. I like that's the thing is I'm not like this
So the
crazy
question is-
obsessive person.
If you're not
about-
into that, then like why can't you just like detach from Erika Kirk and just be like, yeah, that would be fucked up, and judging
'Cause
her
she
on how
actually-
she's
she looks
grieving.
real,
Like if
like-
you had to grieve in that situation, but you're
don't
also
like
a public
Erika Kirk.
figure and you're a comedian, you'd try to get up on stage and tell jokes, and people be like, fuck Owen Benjamin, he's telling jokes and his wife just got whatever, you know, and like how is that possible?
I wouldn't care
you know?
because I'd be grieving. Like that's the
That's
issue.
where
These
she's been at.
hypotheticals.
Everybody's
Maybe
like,
she's-
why
No,
don't
no,
you
no,
see?
no,
Can't
no, no.
why
Maybe
don't you
she's
sue
grieving
Candace
care
Owens?
what some- I wouldn't care what some comedian said about me because I would be in a lot of pain. Like
I
dude,
think that's
you
probably
can't
why it's
convince
taken
me,
so long
like-
for her to get a response from.
Okay.
Share
Why
my
do you-
screen, Adam.
Why do you think that Candace Owens? Why do you think that Candace Owens? That's the gun.
That's not the murder weapon. That's literally a stock photo.
Obtained by New York Post. Looks like the police got their flashlight on it and it's found in the woods, but I don't know what's up with the cardboard box.
So, anyways,
That's the photo I saw, so that's what I'm assuming. I assume that's what happened. Wasn't that the story? The dad saw the gun on the
Yeah,
news,
and
said
then
it
I
looked
found
familiar?
out that it wasn't. They never put the actual gun on the news. They put that. Apparently, that's a stock photo. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. But look it up.
If you're wrong, will you apologize to Erika on Twitter?
No, not to Erica. I'd apologize.
What would it take to make you apologize to Erika?
yeah.
She
Why wouldn't
called
you
you crying
Why
and
wouldn't
saying,
you
"Oh,
apologize to Erika?
Because I don't think I did anything wrong.
All right. Well, I don't even think Erica is like the type of person that like demands apologies from people.
She
She's
doesn't
not
even know
weak.
I exist. Like she
I'm
doesn't
sure she
care at
Yes,
knows
she
you
all.
does.
exist. I'm sure she knows you exist. She knows the
You're a
microsphere.
celebrity, Owen.
She knows all of us. You know,
I
Charlie
don't-
Kirk
I
took
didn't
my
do
tweets to
anything
Bibi
wrong.
Netanyahu about Israeli PR. I didn't even know that Charlie Kirk followed my account like that.
I was
Like,
in the
he showed
Epstein
my
files.
tweets
Apparently,
to like, look, I'm right,
yeah.
Bibi.
Yeah, I think Epstein might have seen me do stand up once.
Maybe.
My name
Could
was
have
in
been.
the files at West Palm Beach Improv. It was an advertisement. I was thinking about that because there'd be a lot of Jews after those shows, and I wonder if one of them was little Jeff.
Owen, are you going to unblock me? Oh, yeah, Adam, you
Yeah,
said
of
we've
course
been
I will.
fighting for 6 months, or we've been fighting for like 8 years since we were both on
I
YouTube
like
in,
Adam Green. I like Adam
2018.
Green. Like this isn't like an angry fight. Like I like Adam.
What about a plug for his new book, The Jesus Deception? I got a copy. I bought a
Ladies and
copy.
gentlemen,
He was gonna give
Slaying
me
Wizards.
a copy. I said no. I'm gonna buy one just to support you.
Slaying
Ladies
the
and
Bible
gentlemen, Adam
wizards.
Green, the Jesus Deception. Check it out. It never hurts to see other perspectives.
Oh, and do you think
Challenge
Jesus
yourself.
was real?
Yes.
You think Jesus was real?
Was he
Yeah.
born from a virgin?
Was he? Yeah, good question.
Yeah, I don't fucking know, man. I don't.
That's a
I
no.
don't know
What
what's
is you?
literal
What do
and
you
what's
think?
metaphor.
What do you think? Do you think he was
That's a
born
no.
from a virgin?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
Clearly
I don't
not.
know. Maybe I don't know, man.
He's a
For me, it's a
grabbler. Owen, say it. Grabble.
No, for me, it's like faith and religion is a category error when it comes to like facts. I don't know. Like, there's no way I could prove anything that's in the Bible at all, but it resonates with me on a spiritual level. And it's written by, it's translated. People wrote it. I understand all the weaknesses. I think reading Adam Green's book's a good idea. I think.
Do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe that
What does
he's
that mean, man?
like? Do
what
you
does
think
that
he's the
mean?
Messiah and that he died for your sins and stuff like that?
This is the whole other combo, bro. It's 5.
Do you believe in the
You wanna
Trinity?
do-
No, that could be
No.
like the last yes or no. That could be like the last yes or no.
Last
Well, I
yes or
wanna hear
no?
about
What?
the book too.
Is
that?
Jesus your Messiah?
What?
He
What do you
doesn't
mean
want
by
to say
Messiah?
no.
Like when I say
What do you
yes,
mean by
you're
by
gonna
Messiah?
catch me all the shit.
All right,
there's all
Owen.
kinds-
I got Adam.
What?
I got Adam muted. I want to hear it from you. Is Jesus your Messiah? Is he your Lord and
I
Savior?
want to hear from you. Where are the foreskins?
They take him after they cut him off. I don't know. I
No,
wish
but
they
where do
kept
you guys
mine. I'd
put
put
the
it on.
foreskins?
I'd put it on the mantle. I'd be like, look what I did for you, God. I did this. But seriously, what is the what do you think? I'm willing to say that about my foreskin, but are you willing to say who your Lord and Savior is? Do you believe in
No.
Jesus? You
I
don't.
don't know. That question is too loaded. It's a trick. You're being a wizard.
I'm not
And
being
I
a wizard.
I have a book right now.
You mean I
called
just
How to
got
Slay a
you?
Wizard.
5D chew chess.
You did it because those How to
Face
Slay a
Big and
Wizard
Owen.
available. Why can't I plug
Go.
my book? Why
You
can't
can
I
put
plug
your
my
book. Go share your book.
Do it. Hold it up.
Yeah, how
I
does-
wanna
Yo,
read
here's
it.
my book. Number 1 in Kabbalah on Amazon. My book.
What kind of wizards do you slay in the book, Owen?
Why don't you read it, Adam Green? It's
It's
called
I
How
see
to
that it's
Slay a
on
Wizard.
Audible. It's on Audible,
Yeah.
but you have an AI voice reading it. I didn't
Oh,
know
and do you
that
have a
was
copy
allowed.
of yours
It's a
in front of
Southern
you?
Black guy. What's that?
Do you have a copy of yours in front of you?
Narrated by Tyrone.
You don't?
Yeah, it's Tyrone. No, I'm like in the. Yeah, no, I'm at a campsite right now.
Ah. I was going in for that shot. All three of us hold up our books.
That would be pretty sweet.
Here, Adam Green and I will
No,
do it. and
whenever
you'll
there's
just
a
be there,
religious
like-
talk, I'm not trying to dodge anybody. It's whenever there's a religious talk, it just feels weird to me when it's like, so, it's kind of like that movie scene when it's
well,
like,
you don't want to
"Say
admit
twice
your
as
religious
good."
beliefs.
Well, it's just not. I don't know. It just seems like a gotcha thing where I'm signing off on a bunch of horse shit.
It's not a
where it's
gotcha.
just-
I'm curious.
No,
I'm
I
not
was
trying to
raised
get you. I'm
Catholic, and I
actually
could see a
curious
lot-
what you think.
But I don't understand what the question means. Like, you want me to tell you what I think? Like, overall, what the whole Jesus
Yeah.
thing is?
That's what I'm trying
So
to do.
I think that the message of Jesus was like a reset where you can forgive yourself and forgive others so that you don't have to keep doubling down into hell forever. And I think that that's a very real thing, and it happened at a time in history, and it will never be put back in the box. So if you say, is he your Lord and Savior? Usually when people say that, it feels and sounds very gay and grabbly, but it's like,
Yeah, I'm
the
being
abil-
facetious. Do you believe he's the Messiah? Is he your personal Messiah? Like, do you believe that he's coming
it's
back to
a
save you
message,
from the
though.
rapture?
I don't know shit about end times. Part of me, I see things as cycles. I have a
Forget
hard
about the
time
rapture. Just do
conceiving-
you believe he's the Messiah? Yes or no?
But define that, though. I know how you guys are with your definitions.
Like the biblical Messiah, King of the Jews, Redeemer of the Jewish people,
Yes.
Builder
I
of the
do.
temple. You think he is?
I don't know what that means. What do you mean, builder of the temple?
The Messiah has to build the temple.
I got a question for you. How are you guys going to build a third temple when you don't build things?
Actually, that's completely not true. Jews have built over 15% of all the real estate in America. We're one of the greatest construction forces that any nation has seen. We're the nation builders of the world. And you could find those statistics out. I mean, I live in Los Angeles. Jews are 17% of the city of Los Angeles. It's the largest Jewish gathering in the entire world outside of Israel. New York is 9% Jewish. They have more Jews, but the population is bigger. LA, the population is less, 17% Jewish. But we built and owned over 50% of all the land and real estate in Los Angeles. It's our city. We like literally
No,
own
I
this
mean
city.
like actually build though. I
Yeah,
don't mean, like,
skyscrapers, financing,
finance it.
architects. I could tell. I know like
No,
500
but I mean
Jewish
like
architects.
with your hands. No, like
I know
with
like
your hands.
500
That's
Jewish
what Goyim are
architects.
for, Owen. Clearly.
Yeah, people get
Architects-
out there,
so-
they build all the time. I build with my hands. Like you have all these. You think that we just
What was the last thing you built? Like, be honest.
the catio. It's a gigantic 40-foot steel enforced wood beams, massive playground for wild cats. It's
You
like
really did that?
like a zoo exhibit actually. Before
You did
that
that
was a
yourself with
chicken
your hands?
coop. Before that, I taught myself how to weld. I built a trailer.
You really did?
I'm building a mobile tiny home.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Well,
man.
what do you think Jews do? We're really smart. You think that
Did
type
a
of
lot of you guys-
education
are
just
you
like
kidding me?
you think we just sit there and like count money all day? After we count money, we're done and we go do other things.
No, I just don't think you're big on labor.
Of course we. I mean, like, listen.
Goyim labor.
I'll tell you about my company, okay? Because I just came out. I was in this
You
podcast
really can weld?
with.
You learn how to weld for real? Did you really learn how to weld?
Yeah, I'm an engineer, dude. I'm
Yeah,
like
but
a
engineer. No, but I mean like physically do it though.
Yeah, of course, man.
Good for you. I'm
Arc,
impressed.
I was, dude. Making that arc is like really a difficult thing. It's an art form.
No, I think
I
two
do these kind of
generations back-
projects all the time, but Jews like me do these projects all the time too. Look what was built in Israel in 75, 80 years. You think the Goyim built Israel? No. Jews built Israel. And Jews, like are very skilled at labor.
Jews couldn't even swing the hammer to crucify Jesus. They had to have the Gentiles do it.
Exactly.
Well, it was a
I'm joking.
spear.
It's a myth.
It was a spear. The spear of
No,
Longinus.
that was later. Oh, and tell us about your book some. Who were some of the wizards that are slayed in the book? Can you give us a summary?
Check out the book, man. It's more about it doesn't have like a gotcha or an agenda or these are the bad people or anything like that. It's more just about manipulation and how language works and just to like help people kind of see through how traps are formed and externalizing authority and all that stuff. And I just wanted it to be helpful, helpful for people for navigating a world of spells where you can just kind of invent a new word or get people in these little logic traps so that they kind of self-destruct.
So you do believe Jesus is the Messiah, right?
No.
He
I
does.
just kind of explained it was the message that you can be forgiven and start again. And that like, it isn't a certain bloodline or a certain status or certain.
So you don't owe any fealty to Jesus.
What does that mean?
Fealty, like you don't owe him anything.
Owe him anything? Like I'm very grateful.
Like do you believe that if you don't accept him as the Messiah that you're going to hell?
No.
Okay.
I think like going to hell is I think it's like just when you think that you're the arbiter of truth and that you can kind of manipulate people and say lies for your own agenda. I think that's kind of the road to hell. I don't think it's like a religious like, oh, these are the special boys that go to the special place. Like I don't believe that.
Do you address religion in the book?
What's that? No.
No chapter on religion.
No.
What about NASA?
No.
Am I mentioned in the book?
No. I would
Is
say
Candace
positive
Owens in the
things.
book?
How dare you?
No, like I talk about Wizard of Oz. It's like I break down that metaphor about the financial system. Like what that movie was kind of about with the gold, the Wizard of Ounce. Like the gold path to the greenback city. I break down like how boot camp works, so that you get people to externalize authority with trauma, so that they run into fucking machine guns based on getting a stripe on your shoulder. Like just basically like the nuts and bolts of how wizardry works, where you can make a spell and then people just kind of do something against their own interest. Because I don't mind if people disagree with me. I just want people to like be able to make their own choice. I get real bummed out if people are tricked. You know, if somebody just like knows the deal and makes the choice, like you guys might be right about Tyler Robinson and Erika Kirk. I don't fucking know. Just to me, she looks shady and he doesn't look guilty, and he might be, and she might be completely misrepresented. But that's just all I can do is say what I think from my perspective.
What do you think
at the
Jesus
time.
would tell people about how to treat Erika Kirk?
He'd be like, "Why is this fucking lady like the head of a company?"
You think?
I don't
that's
know.
what
I'm not
Jesus would
speaking
say?
on behalf of anybody.
You
But
just
back
spoke on
then, it's
behalf
like-
of Jesus, man.
I was a hypothetical. I got tricked by you. Tricked me.
Okay, then re-speak on Jesus' behalf. What I'm asking you, what would the Jesus way of life be when addressing somebody like Erika Kirk and her widow and the
Probably
two
something
orphans?
way
How would
more
Jesus
than
handle
me.
that situation?
I don't think Jesus. I don't know if he was big on like. I don't know. He'd probably be. I don't fucking know, man. Because back then, it's like when people talk about widows,
It's really hard for you to say
wasn't
that Jesus
business.
would not be okay with it. But
What the
it's
fuck are
easy
you
for you to
talking
say
about?
that Jesus is the Messiah. But it's
Yeah,
not it's not easy for you
What
to say
kind
that
of fabric
Jesus
are
would
you
not be
weaving
okay
right
with it.
now? I don't know. I'm not speaking on behalf of Jesus. I think that photo, it looks like an Italian's gripping his meat. And I thought it was funny. And if you guys don't find it funny, maybe you could call the joke police. But, you know, we've done a really good debate here, and I hope you guys had a really good
Maybe
time.
it's just too
Everybody
soon.
flops sometimes.
Maybe
Some
we can
jokes
never
don't.
joke
Listen,
about
if
Some
it
jokes
wasn't funny,
flop,
I get
Owen.
it. I wasn't trying to like, okay, I'll tell you
Yeah.
guys this. I'm not
You
Not
trying
set
to
the
like,
everything
internet
you
ablaze.
say has to be funny.
I'm not trying to hurt her feelings. If that makes it any better or whatever. I thought it was funny. But it's like I'm not sitting around like, oh, I'm gonna fucking really fuck her head up. Like you know,
My father has this thing at the dinner table.
85,000 times.
My father has this
What?
thing at the dinner table. It's called the funny meter. And like he always told this to me growing up. My father's a really funny guy. And
Nice.
growing up at the table, he would say, if it doesn't pass the funny meter, don't say it. What is the funny meter? Are other people actually going to laugh at this joke? It's not about if you laugh at it. It's about if other people are going to laugh at it. And if it passes the funny meter, then say the joke. But if it doesn't, you know, or like, what's the reaction? Like to be fully aware of the joke before you release the hounds, you know? So I would
I
hope.
don't know. I'd like to debate your father on the funny meter.
I would hope that you could. I would hope that you could. You know, like if you did come to some like Jesus moment, you could be like, you could
I
be
just
like,
imagine his dad at the table, like Seinfeld's uncle with the anti-Semitism meter. Is it anti-Semitism? We're on the meter. I saw your little thing on that.
No, listen, like
that
that
was funny.
isn't like a home run joke. Like looking back, it's way too confusing because like I wasn't saying that's what she's doing right now, and it did appear a bunch of people.
what
thought
about
that's what I was
Drewski?
saying.
Was that okay? What Drewski did?
Yes, I would do blackface right now.
I have way
I-
less of a
It's not
problem
about
with
blackface.
Drewski.
It's not about blackface. It's about mocking a widow in public.
But how long is she a widow? How long is that going to last for?
According to Judaism, 11 months.
Oh, at least you guys have. Dude, honestly, bro, that's a pretty decent answer. Like if you have an actual.
Wait till you hear
time
what we got to
frame
say about hell.
Too
No,
soon.
if you guys have a real time frame and you follow it, I respect that.
Just like how we know when the sun sets every single day to the second, we also know when the grieving period is over. There's initially
All
a
right,
7-day
okay,
period.
so-
There's initially a 7-day period. Then it's followed by a 30-day period. And there's a ritual on the 7th day, and they get up, and on the 30th day, and then on the 11th month. And then
So
it's
on
over.
August, unleash.
Yeah, like you gotta like acknowledge. I also know people who have personally like had zero relationship with somebody that they loved in their life, and they lost that person, and then because they never rectified the relationship, they just went fucked off to fucktown, you know, and they still have high power jobs that they got to keep, and that, you know. In her case, I don't even know if she's really calling the shots of Turning Point USA. I'm sure Andrew Colvey. I'm sure that's why Tucker Carlson can do what he's doing and still have a front row spot with Megyn Kelly and all of them while butterballing up to Erika Kirk, because butterballing up to Candace Owens, because I don't think Erika Kirk would. I think she's a very resolute woman. I don't think she would willfully invite. I mean, she went to Candace Owens. She sat with her. Candace said she would stop. Erika asked if she would stop till until the trial. Let the trial
listen,
happen.
Man, we're just gonna have to disagree on that one. I've caught her lying a bunch of times, and that's for another.
It's also very easy to manipulate widows and orphans because they're in such trauma for 11 months. And that's why the Bible gives us special protections on how to treat widows and orphans. It requires us to be kind.
They shouldn't be in fucking public. I'll tell you that.
It requires us to be kind to the widow and orphan.
Okay, cool. But if you care about the widow and the orphan, the widow definitely shouldn't be on a fucking book tour and the head of a giant corporation.
She wants to make sure her husband's book gets out there.
Okay, then that's her choice. Okay? And this has been a blast. And if anybody wants to find me, it's ladle.tv. And the new book is called How to Slay a Wizard on Amazon. But if you're trying to avoid trauma, I suggest not being in a stadium with a microphone. But that's some old school thinking, and I get it. So avoid. I
imagine that there was also a lot of pressure, though. Pressure from President Trump and pressure from the entire Republican establishment.
Well, then that's on them. Then they're pushing an orphan in front of the camera.
I also agree with that sentiment as well too.
She probably thought she had the responsibility to carry.
And that's why I don't think she's calling the day-to-day shots. She's being like a figurehead. She's showing up when she needs to continue the legacy of Charlie, to bring Charlie into the fulfillment of all their initiatives that Charlie started. She wants to make all these college campuses. She wants to build out Charlie's infrastructure and let him live.
She's got a lot of dreams, man.
She wants to let her husband live on.
Right on. And on that happy note, let's fucking say our goodbyes and just tell me where the fucking foreskins are. And I really appreciate you guys having me. Because I'm legitimately getting cold.
Oh,
it's
and
like
unblock me.
I let it fire. Yeah, I'll unblock you right now.
And don't attack me for 2 weeks straight like last time.
Dude, I don't attack you. I've had your back before. I've literally had your back before. But I'm like, he doesn't mean it like this. You've seen me have your back.
Guys, I want to thank you both for being.
Because people do overdo the satanic shit. You fucking have seen me have your back with that. When it's every single thing is the worst possible interpretation. And I understand why you get annoyed by that. But at the same time, no one's ordering fucking grape soda at 3 a.m. from their dentist.
Don't mock my God, Owen. Stop mocking my God.
I like it, guys. You're unblocked. And thank you, Awesome Jew, for having me. It's been a blast.
Guys, I had a lot of fun.
It really has been a blast. I'm just freezing.
We'll have you back. I appreciate everybody coming out. You guys, thank you for being Goitiators here on the Pesach special in the arena. Really fighting the narrative that you guys are Jews hand and fist. I really appreciate that because
this will definitely silence the.
You guys are not one of us.
Yeah.
You are not one of us.
Jews again after this one.
Internet, take it from me. They are not Jews. Trust me, bro. They are not Jews.
Yeah. If they'll trust anybody, it's definitely you, Adam. You're right. All right.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and proclaim the winner or anything like that since Owen but I will count that as a little bit of a rage quit, right before my closing statements or your closing statements. But I think you took that debate, Adam Green. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you publicly on screen in front of everybody.
You told us an hour and a half, and it's an hour and 45.
Yeah, I know. And I think the Erika Kirk stuff really took it, also the Jesus, he believes in Jesus, but and that just shows you these people, they all say they believe in Jesus. They're really afraid of hell or whatever, and they want to be into the Jesus thing, and Jesus is trending and he's profitable also. It
would have been way easier for him to just say, yes, he believes it. Yes, he's the son of God. But at least he doesn't go there. That would be the.
I said this to that Muslim Daniel Hakikachu. I was like, you can't even just declare your faith to the public. I'll tell you what the foreskin is. You can't even talk about it. I do my faith with 100% faith and public transparency. I love my faith. Now
I want to know what they do with the foreskins. That's kind of never thought about.
Medically dispose of it with it's a thing the doctors. It's medically disposed of. Come
Just
on.
in the kitchen trash can.
Shut up, Adam Green.
Unless it's Jesus's, they save Jesus's.
They
foreskin.
saved Jesus's foreskin. Yeah, they have it. It's called the shroud of the shroud of Mila. It's the foreskin
shroud.
of Jesus.
That's the real
No, but I
shroud of
do think
Jesus.
it's like really funny. Like if Jesus is the fulfillment of the Bible, like then like on like being kind to a widow and orphan. It doesn't say honor them. It doesn't say do business with them. It says just be kind to them. You know, and so like if he believes that Jesus is the fulfillment of the Bible or the Messiah or came to show forgiveness and all that stuff, it's like he talks out of one side of his mouth about Jesus and then goes on thinking, okay, I'm just going to go make jokes about Erika Kirk and it's comedy and it's funny and nobody could tell me it's not funny because I'm doing it for this reason. And Candace Owens is right on point. She said he's right on point to somebody like me who literally, I'm not trying to LARP and shit, but like you go fucking deal with a death threat and then you tell me if I'm LARPing. You know, you got a wife and kids. You go tell me if I'm LARPing. If that police have to come to your house and the neighbor comes by and is like, why did the police come by? You know? And this is the third time it happened to me, but he thinks it's funny. You know what I'm saying? It's not funny. It sucks. Whenever it happens, it sucks. It might happen just because I admitted it on this show. It might happen again because I admitted it on this show. And it fucking sucks. It's happened to a lot of people. Swatting is real. Also, like, stalkers are real. And these fucking goons are like, they are very, very focused on trying to be scary. They'll say
How about
stuff
we
like,
talk about something a little more interesting, like Laura Loomer.
my God.
I heard the cat in the background.
The cat's
Does
in
your
the
cat
back,
miss
man.
Laura?
Bro, I'm not here to gossip about Laura. I did get like 2.2 million views on that post, though. But
Okay.
I'm so
All right, can
sick
we
of
wrap it?
people.
I gotta go too. I gotta.
I'm
pee
so.
real bad.
You asked about Laura. I'll just say this: James Fishback running for governor has no place talking about Laura being a man, and it's so disrespectful. It's so that is the goon squad. People who think that that's going to be the guy who they want to like lead them into battle and like make their laws and shit for them. The guy who wants like the OnlyFans tax and Laura Loomer's Larry Loomer. And I'm glad I spoke up for her. She's a wonderful person. She really is a wonderful person. I have nothing bad to say about Laura Loomer. And yes, we did date for a brief period of time, but whatever. Adam, thank you for joining us today. It was a great debate. I appreciate you guys getting to squash that, and I'll see you on the internet. Peace, brother. Later. So I just want to thank everybody for coming. We had a huge audience tonight, right before Pesach. It is 6:50. Candlelighting is 7:05. So I'm going to hop, and we're going to go light candles. No, I'm sorry. It's actually 5:50. I got time. I got about an hour. The recipe that broke the Passover this year, I'm going to give it to you. Passover was, oh my God. I have these recipes down. And the recipe was my horseradish brisket. It's so simple. I'm going to give you guys the quick recipe. You can make this at home. It's so freaking good. Take a brisket. You use only raw salt. No salt with additives, just raw salt. Add the raw salt, cracked peppercorns, both sides, 1, 2, 1, 2. Finely grate horseradish, 1, 2, 1, 2. Get both sides, cook it. 3 hours from now, put more fresh horseradish on there. Let it cook another hour in the slow cooker on high. An hour later, a little bit more fresh horseradish. Break it up, pull it into like a brisket pull. Oh my God, the Mala Minateva. Honestly, that took the cake this year at Passover Seder. That was like, oh my God. People were like, I had to hold back the crowd because I wanted some for lunch the next day. You know, like I was like not having anybody taking my horseradish brisket. But this year's Passover was amazing. The story is just, this year I did all the Mefarshim in Hebrew for the first time. We went through the Ma'am Loes. I had like a great group the first night, smaller group the second night. And because it was the smaller group on the second night, I got to really go deep. And we went through the Ma'am Loes. We went through the Breslov Haggadah. And we went through all sorts of different Haggadot. We went through all sorts of Haggadot and all the Mefarshim. I feel like I totally expanded my horizons. I sold my chametz this year to Byron Stinson, my brother in the Red Heifer. It was such an honor, man, to like sell my chametz to him. Because really the chametz, who you sell your chametz to is like a very special thing. There's a blessing inside of the person that buys the chametz for you. This is what people don't realize. You just tack on your chametz to like, somebody that you go to the shul and you like write your name and you like subscribe the rabbi to sell your chametz on your behalf and you book an agent and whatnot. You Jews, you have so much power. You can direct the blessing of abundance. God has given you this ability. And in this direction of abundance, if you sell your chametz to somebody who's not Jewish, because a Jew cannot have chametz in their house or in any of their jurisdictions. So, what about like the chametz like inside of the pots and pans? Or what about chametz is the like the bread, the molecules of bread that have rows in the you have a cast iron skillet. It's a rough on a microscopic level. There's particles of food there. So God commands us to even get rid of those microscopic particles, and there are ways to do it. But the main way that the Torah gives us this opportunity is to sell our chametz to somebody who is not Jewish. And by selling our chametz to somebody who is not Jewish, we thus have this ability to extrapolate ownership over any chametz that is found in our domain. Now, all these skeptics on the internet, they'll be like, oh, he didn't accept Jesus, and the proof is they're trying to get around God's law. That's not true. God gave the requirement to be so stringent so that we would engage with the Gentile worlds and sell our chametz. It's also about what the Torah doesn't say, and that's where the Talmud come in, and that's where all the writings of the Zohar comes in. It's what the Torah says, which is very important. Torah says, make sure there's no chametz in your vicinity. Well, how can you be sure that you don't have possession over any chametz? Really, clean your house, scrub your pots, follow the rituals. But then on top of everything, find somebody who's not Jewish and sell them your chametz. And by them buying it, which is an acquisition that is $1, it's actually a biblical acquisition. A non-Jew makes a kinyan, which is an amazing thing. A kinyan is a type of ancient biblical contract. And this is one of the instances where a non-Jew makes a kinyan. And the person who isn't Jewish acquires all the chametz. It's all the spiritual possessions of a person that expand, including all sorts of things, ego, anything that is associated to the rising of the bread, the expansion of the bread, to go very esoteric about it. So this year, I blessed Byron Stinson, who's probably one of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my life, let alone a Gentile. And I asked him, I said, if I believe this, I just came out and I was like, hey, friend, this is one of my beliefs that I believe in, that I have the power to give this blessing. And I have to buy the contract back at the end. I don't buy it back. He has the right under the contract to buy all my chametz from me for a pre-negotiated amount. It's part of the contract. But he also has the right to return it for a full refund, in which case I buy it back from him for a ceremonial $1. But that transaction, even though it's just $1, is spiritual transaction. Everything above, so everything below, so above, and everything above, so below. Thus, we're able to affect change in heaven, and thus heaven is able to affect change down here on earth, to put it in simple terms. So we do this contract, and as a Jew, we nullify any chametz that we own as a Jew. And this year, this man, I would say, watch this man. If he makes an investment into something, invest with him, because he's got a blessing this year. Because this Passover, this Pesach, had the highest nutzotzot de kedusha, the lights of holiness, the sparks of holiness. There was so much hidden mystery in this Pesach, so much hidden mystery. And I'm going into the Shvi Shel Pesach, which is the last day of Pesach. And on Shvi Shel Pesach, it's also a Yom Tov for us Jews. We light our candles. We have ceremonial meals. At everything we do, we have a ceremonial meal. And so everything we do, we have a ceremonial meal. And so Shvi Shel Pesach is very holy. It's the end of Pesach. It's Sudas HaMashiach. It's the moment that the sea splits. And that's what's special about Shvi Shel Pesach, the one that we're going into tonight. It's the moment that we cross the sea. Now, every year we say to ourselves that we too were slaves in Egypt. Part of our Haggadah is not them, but us now. We are also slaves in Egypt. And next year we'll be free in Jerusalem. And we say this every year, but it's very indicative of Pesach, because we take on the entire, everything that is relevant in the Torah, we take on. So yes, we were slaves to Egypt. So what are we slaves to? You know, like, if I say this, what does it mean? I was a slave in Egypt. I was a slave. I was set free. But every year we're set free on Pesach. Pesach is really cool. We sacrifice a ram. We put the blood over the doorpost, but we sacrifice the ram in the temple. We don't put the blood over the doorpost. In Egypt, we did. But we sacrifice the ram in the temple. And in the sky is Aries. At the full moon of Aries, every single year, we sacrifice a ram in the sky. We cut off nature. We say, nature does not rule us. We're not going to worship nature. We're going to offer the ram to God, to the creator, the Borei Olam, the creator of the world, creator of the universe. So on Shvi Shel Pesach, on Pesach, that is the commemoration of the night that we put the ram's blood on our doors. And on Shvi Shel Pesach, it's commemoration of the sea splitting. So the entire journey of Pesach happened in Egypt, from when we left Egypt to when we hit the sea, and it was a 7-day period. And so this is the commemoration of Egypt. This is the telling of the story of Egypt. It happened in a 1-week time period, from the moment we left to the moment we crossed the sea and we were free. But tonight, we commemorate these nights. Every single year on our calendar, we sacrifice a ram in the temple. On the day that we took a ram, a he-goat, and put the blood over our doorposts, and the angel of death passed over the Jewish houses and took all the firstborn of Egypt. And so that is the deeper meaning of Pesach, what we're doing. But tonight is very special, because tonight is really the moment of freedom. With everything that we're doing and everything that we're going through, and all the motions that we have going through, and eating the matzah, and, you know, not eating chametz, and saying the prayers, and Hallel, and Musaf, and all the great things, and the foods, and the Seder plate. We go through all these rituals, and every one of them is embedded with deep mysteries of creation, the deepest mysteries of creation. This specific holiday is about the mystery of freedom. And today, at the splitting of the sea, this is the moment of true freedom, where we are free. And by going through this ritual, we liberate ourselves from the influences of nature for the whole year. We shech the ram. We have the ram on the Seder plate. We make Seder means order. We put our own order to the year. We are the commanders of the ship. We were given free will by God to steer the vessel accordingly. And thus, we are not here to honor the ram in the sky and celebrate, some pagan deity or some force of nature. We shecht the force of nature. We slaughter the force of nature. And then we give it to God, and God eats it. God eats the force of nature on Passover, on Pesach. That's why it's so mystical. It's so holy. When you do the ritual, you feel the consequences. Just like with everything in life, there's consequences. There's going to be consequences for these social media influencers. Just like there's consequences in the physical world, so too there's consequences in the spiritual world. And God is exacting judgment on the world, on his world. He's liberating the Jews. He's taking us out of Egypt through the matzah, which the matzah is so special. It's the deflation of our ego. Truly, to see freedom, you have to lower the ego. You can't be egotistical and acquire freedom. It will not connect. It will not work. The ego is so easily manipulated, so easily steered in one direction or the other. That's why we eat the bread, the humble bread, which is matzah. And chametz is the egotistical bread. And this is something that you all can meditate on, Jew or Gentile, and come to great spiritual understandings by understanding matzah and chametz, which really come from the same root word, actually. Because all of Hebrew is intertwined, and it's a very beautiful interwoven web of linguistics. So we're moving into Shvi Shel Pesach, the splitting of the sea. And it says of the splitting of the sea that this to God is as hard, that making soulmates is as hard as splitting of the sea. It's a crazy thing. After creating the world, all God did afterward was try to pair, after separating Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, that all God did was try to repair that and bring Adam and Eve back together. And it's hard because he gave us free will. So God might have been working for like 6 months to a year just that you and her will be at this right place at the right time. And one of you might be like, I don't want to go out tonight. I'm not feeling it. Or whatever. Like, I'm just, whatever. And that is you getting in the way of God. He just worked so hard for like a year so that you'd be in the right place at the right time. That's how misleading free will can be. That's why it's important to be humble, because through humility, we can perceive the acts of God in our lives. We can understand more clearly where God is and where God isn't. And, so moving forward, understanding what God wants from us as human beings, there's a deeper message embedded inside of Pesach even after that. The splitting of the sea being compared to the finding of one's soulmate and the liberation of the Jewish people from slavery, which culminated on the 50th day at Mount Sinai, where we were given the tablets from God, which were the wedding contract. And he held the mountain over us, the chuppah, and he took us as his bride, the Jewish people. Because God wanted to teach humanity what the intention was for humanity, through actions, not through words. So he liberated the Jewish people and wed us, kept us closer than others, brought us near to him. Even though we disobeyed, he forgave us. And he's brought us back to the land after 2,000 years of exile. And he's destroyed our enemies, Dayenu, Dayenu, Dayenu. But he's utterly destroyed our enemies. Brought about an unprecedented time for the Jewish people to truly move into the Middle East. It's the Arabs, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait even though they shot down the American planes. USS Liberty, USS Liberty. And Oman and Jordan and Syria and Egypt all going to war with Israel, backing Israel and the United States. That's the new riders. It's America, it's the Jews, and it's the Arabs, unified for the future of humanity. Yaakov, Esav, and Ishmael, the three biblical architects here in the world, playing out before our eyes on Pesach, on Shvi Shel Pesach. And we are going into Shvi Shel Pesach, and we are going to liberate ourselves for the whole year. After we pass through this moment, when the sea splits, that's when we go into the new chapter of our lives, willfully or unwillfully, consciously or subconsciously. You have the opportunity to do it consciously, and that's what he gave us through the mitzvot of the Torah, and one of those is the commemoration of the Pesach ritual. And that's why it all ties into free will. But why? Why did God give us free will? God gave us free will because he wants a relationship with us. History has had many faces of the relationship between God and man. Some of those faces have been master and servant, king and slave. And that went on for a very long time. It evolved to Abba, to father and child. When we understood God's compassion through a father to a child, through that relationship, that God truly loves us like a father to a child. And it feels good because the Father's love is unwavering. But we were created for even a higher purpose than that. We were created to be Isha to him. We were created Ezer Kenegdo to him. That is what it means. B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God. These English folk, they translate B'Tselem Elohim to the image of God. It's like so basic. Oh my God. Boring. How can anyone sit through that type of English Bible? It's good. The English Bible is like a table of contents until you start learning Hebrew. But B'Tselem Elohim means the species of God. Humans are the same creature God created himself into creation. He birthed the human, B'Tselem Elohim. We are from his species. He says, Lo tov le'ot adam levodo. It's not good for man to dwell alone. So we go searching for a mate, and we don't turn to him because we are in the image that he created us. He's the parent. And then he says, Al ken yazo vishet avivet imo v'debek v'ishto. This is all in generous. And therefore man will leave his wife and be devek be'ishto, to his wife. What is devek? Devek is the word devekut. Devekut. Really, it's best taught through Hasidut. The Hasidic masters really emphasize devekut. It is spiritual adoration for God. And here God is saying, have that to your wife. Therefore, man will leave his father and mother. But did Adam have a father and mother in the Garden of Eden? No. So what's God talking about? He's saying, leave the consciousness of seeing me as the father and mother. This is the ultimate step in the redemption process. And see me b'dabek be'ishto, davekut be'ishto. Separated them, cut them in half, filled the back with flesh, sent them on their ways, and then he tries his best to make providence bring them together. And he does everything that he can to make providence bring them together. And it is as difficult as splitting the sea, it says. which was written into creation. The sea split because it was written on that day that it would split. That was supposed to happen on that day. It was a part of the deal that was made when the sea was created. At creation, the Midrash says. Which is very interesting because it implies it implies two things. It might look like fate, but really it's divine architecture because God wrote it into creation. Just like he wrote into creation that soulmates do meet each other. And that's why he wrote into creation that he wants to marry us. That's why he wrote into the creation that the Jews stood under the mountain at Mount Sinai, at the temple at Sinai, the Mount Sinai. And that was the wedding canopy. And he gave us the Torah, which was the wedding contract. And he showed the world what his intention was with humanity through the Jewish people by giving us the Torah, which are the mitzvot, which are the archetypal pillars of free will. All 613 of them, 365 things that you cannot do, 248 things that you have to do if presented with the opportunity. The human body has 365 bones and sinews, 248 arteries. It is the map of the human genome. That is what the mitzvot are. That is what the Torah is. It is the architect of human free will in writing, and the Jews were given this as a wedding contract, and told to preserve it for the whole world. And in every generation, they come and they try to kill us. They're not coming to kill us. They don't care about the Jews. These anti-Semites on the internet that you see, let me be clear, folks. They do not care about Jews. They care about the Torah. And the Jews, us, we are what's in the way of them and the Torah. What is the Torah? The divine code for humanity, given by God to the Jews that we should preserve it. Originally, he thought he was going to give it to the nations of the world. He tried to give it to other nations of the world, and they refused. One nation didn't want to write off murder. Another nation didn't want to write off theft. He brought it to the Jewish nation. Because if no people take the code, then the world gets destroyed. The Turing test of human free will is a failure, and God created another robot like an angel or a demon or whatever the fuck he created next. But if we're able to pass the Turing test of free will, and we're able to connect to our true place with him, which is through the fulfillment of the mitzvot of the Torah, which are the encoded being of man, the encoded free will given to humanity. And we can preserve that divine code to the time of the revealed Mashiach. Then all of humanity will take place in what the Jewish people have taken place in for the last 3,300 and some odd years, since he took us out of Egypt and gave us the Torah. The purpose of taking us out of Egypt was to give us the Torah. Because through Egypt, we were refined into a people that would obey. We would do. Na'aseh v'nishma. We will do it, and then we'll figure out what it is we're doing. That's our level of faith to you, God. Na'aseh v'nishma. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. So, this is the deeper meaning of Pesach. I'm glad I got to give you guys this lesson, this shi'ur, this teaching on Passover. And I'm grateful that you all came to be entertained by this charade of a Passover special. It was intended just to be entertainment. But I did want to cover some things. I do think it's classless to insult Erika Kirk. I think it's so tasteless. Let her be a grieving widow. Let her do whatever she's going to do. You know, like, don't be a critic of how somebody grieves unless you're anxious to be grieving in public yourself. Sounds like if you're obsessed with how Erika Kirk is grieving, it sounds like you are anxious to be a grieving person in the public because you want to teach everybody how to do it. That's not good karma, folks. You do not want that energy on yourself. That is why it is important to not cast judgment. Even Jesus says, let he who has no sin cast the first stone. And I'm not even a Christian, but I'm saying this to Christians who want to mock Jesus. Like, they do mock Jesus by mocking Erika Kirk. You know, Owen's going to believe that Jesus has the power to, he doesn't believe in hell, he said, but he thinks that Jesus is the Messiah, but he doesn't think that it's such a big deal to make fun of the widow and the orphan, which is one of the 613 divine laws of human free will that God gave to us on the 50th day after Pesach. And that's the thing with Shavuot. We got our days mixed up. That's why we were one day short of having the original Luchot HaBrit and bringing the temple forever. We were going to write reality at that moment. But because of the weakness of Aaron HaKohen coalescing to the mob and the making of the Egel Zahav, we've had to endure immense amounts of suffering throughout the ages through redeeming other people from Egypt with us, by freeing all the Erev, the other nations that were also enslaved. We did ourselves a disservice as well, but we still did it. We exacted our free will to end somebody else's suffering, to end somebody else's slavery, even though it had a backfire on us. And God, through his prophets and the writings, and through all the Torah and all the legacies of the Jewish people, has even given us an anecdote for the Erev Rav. In the times of the Mashiach, the revealed Mashiach, the King Melech HaMashiach, Le'olam Va'ed, may it be soon in our days. Bimheira v'yameinu, ba'ito ba'achishena, 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 ba'achshavishena, ba'achshavishena. Let it be now, Hashem. Let it be now, because you are so beautiful, and I love you, and I want to see this world in the realm of the Mashiach. I want to see this world in the realm of the revealed Torah, in the realm of human accomplishment, what humans are totally capable of doing, without the yeush of nature holding us back, without the temptations to give up and to just succumb to the pattern of nature, which eventually leads to death, folks. The pattern of nature leads to death. That's where it goes. The Jewish people have provided the world with a path to eternal life. The mitzvot of the Torah, human free will, at the edge of human free will, where we perfect it, where we become it, where we truly become B'Tselem Elohim, that we're not going to just like subscribe to some stupid impulse of nature or temptation, that we're able to rise above stupid things like the cheap public shots of making fun of an orphan and their widow, where we could just rise above that and say, no, I'm not going to give into that base lower temptation. Maybe even eating pig or bugs of the sea or insects or any of the things that God forbade. That tava, that temptation to have one thing, or the temptation of sex, any of the temptations that pull one into the physical world. To rise above it, to be the man, the etheric man who's capable of saying no when you're supposed to say no to something, and yes when you're supposed to say yes to something. And it's not saying no when you're supposed to say no and yes when you're supposed to say yes. It's saying no to something that you shouldn't do and doing something when you are presented that you should do, that you are presented the opportunity to do it. It's hard. Sometimes getting off the couch is the hardest test. And doing the thing that you need to do, that's the actual test. That's the actual work of man. And might be hard. It's not easy. I didn't write the rules. I'm just here to share them with the world. And we're going to get more of this on the Adam King Show, folks, here on Awesome Jew. We are going to get more Torahs like this, more content like this. I was happy to have something to say for Pesach. Just something to show the world, some entertainment. I have my horseradish brisket cooking in the slow cooker. It's going to be ready. I got about 45 minutes till candle lighting. I'm super stoked on Shvi Shel Pesach. I'm super stoked on where the world is going. I'm so excited for President Trump and all of his accomplishments that he's made around the world with the Arabs and the Jews, unifying on a common enemy, defeating Shia Islam for good, creating a brand new world for the world that we live in, with other trading partners, with other countries. I can't wait for us to acquire Greenland. That is definitely going to happen. And the new world that we're the Middle East, I mean, it's a completely different world, folks. It's a completely different world that we're living in the Middle East. Everybody wants to LARP and say Trump was a failure, or this was a failure. You're just a bunch of LARPing losers, okay? You're not capable of seeing the good in anything. You're haters. You want communism. You want America to fail. So many of these Groiper bros are like, we're rooting for the downed American pilot to be caught. They wanted it. They wanted him to be caught. But on Easter Sunday, on their religious day, America saves the guy. And they complain that it costs $100 million, that they should leave the guy dead. No, we are America. We are the greatest nation in the fucking world. And we're so fucking rich that if you're our fucking soldier and you go down behind enemy lines, fucking $100 million. We're going to do it on TV. We're not going to lose a fucking person. Because we're America and we're going to win. And there's people on the internet that are LARPing at this, trying to say that this isn't based. This is as based as it gets. This is America, fuck yeah. And if you're a soldier in this army, you could go into battle for our country knowing that your country has your back. That is what it shows to our troops. That is what it shows to our allies. And the Arabs are pledging 250,000 troops. And everybody's LARPing. Nobody wants to admit what's going on. That the Arabs and the Jews are riding together with America at the helm, bro. America's winning the war for Earth. And you're crying? Oh, you don't like to have steaks? You don't like to have the choicest of the food of the world? You don't like to rule the earth? You'd rather live in a world where nations can become equal to us through technology and force your wife and kids to wear a hijab or go to their schools or pray to their God. And to all the Christians LARPing out there, even to Jesus, America is not a Christian nation, folks. It's a freedom of religion nation. It was written in the founding documents, the number one law of the country. It's listed as number one, freedom of religion. Because the founders knew what God wants from us. He wants us to come to him on our own volition. We already did thousands of years of dictatorships and kingdoms and king-servant God relationships. We are the masters, the elite class. You are the peasants, the ones who are ruled by us. And we tell you what God is, even though we're hypocritical. That's not what this is about. That's not what God wants. God wants you to freely choose him. You could be anything you want. In America, you could be gay, you could be Christian, you could be a vampire, you could be emo, you could be trans, you could be Jewish, you could be black, you could be anything you want. You could be, what was her name? Rachel Dole something? She became black or something like that. You can't become black. Your kids could become black if you have a black partner, but you can't become black. Just like, whatever. But I don't know. I'm not here to tell you what you can and cannot be. I'm here to tell you that God wants you to choose him from having unlimited options, and that's when he knows that you really chose him. Because you could have chosen anything. You could have been orgy queen or whatever, whatever you want to do in life. But you chose God. You chose the Melech Hanav, the humble path. That's why Pesach is so important. That's why we're here to share it to the whole world, is to choose God. And I'll tell you one thing that God says repeatedly in his Torah. He loves the widow and the orphan. My prayer is to you, Erika Kirk, that you have your moment to grieve, that you have your breath to take. I have no judgment for you, and none of us should have judgment on this woman. And when your day in court comes, everybody will know. And it's disgusting what I see in the public domain. It's more disgusting than saying that I had something to do with killing Charlie Kirk. Repetitively. Even when everybody told her it wasn't true. Elijah Schaffer, Milo Yiannopoulos, everybody. People at InfoWars. They all told her, hey, we all know Adam. He wasn't in the Hamptons. I got like 1 million texts. I was going back and forth. She came out a week later. That was Hoshana Rabbah last year. Right before, the first time she did it was right before Sukkot, and then right the era of Hoshana Rabbah, she said it again. And then she said it again in December, and then she wrote it on her freaking Twitter. And that's like, what are you doing, soccer mom? I got my YouTube channel back. We're on YouTube now only because of Candace Owens. I was censored from YouTube. I petitioned. Why is Candace allowed to defame me on that public platform, but I'm not allowed to even defend myself on that public platform? I have my account back. Happened right after the Tyson Hockley episode. And I tried to stream to YouTube the Tyson Hockley. They sent me a letter that I wasn't allowed to stream, that I'm banned and I'm not allowed to post videos. Then I made the post about Candace and I talked about, next thing I know, I'm back on YouTube. So God bless, speaking up for yourself, Erika. And we're here to speak up for you too. And it's clear that something's gone haywire at Turning Point USA, because I can't bear to see Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly. And Tucker said the other day, like, I would never insulting faith. And Donald Trump said Allah Akbar or something like that, and on Easter, and he was like, it is such an insult to faith. And meanwhile, at Charlie Kirk's funeral, he stands up before the world and he's like, these hummus eaters in Jerusalem killed Jesus. It's like, fuck you, dude. We see through you. You're like a pair of cheap plastic sunglasses. I see right through you, Tucker Carlson. And I see right through the thing at Turning Point USA. I can't imagine Erika Kirk is actually in charge. Or else this Megyn Kelly, this Tucker Carlson, they won't be figures at Turning Point USA. It's crazy that Tucker Carlson says this and his son is the head of communications for J.D. Vance. What the fuck is going on in that situation, folks? That blows my mind. Anyways, we're approaching candle lighting. I got a half hour to light. I want to thank you guys all for coming on the show today. We went hard. We had a huge audience the whole way through on all platforms. I really enjoyed sharing the meaning of Pesach with you guys, Passover, and sharing a little bit about Torah. I'll try on every episode from now on to give a little bit of Torah at the end, just go into a shtickle Torah and give over some mysticism. But you guys can find a lot of this out. Buy my book, Ad Shiloh, The Blueprint for the Final Awakening. It's on Amazon. This was my author's copy. But it hit number 1 on the charts in 3 categories: Kabbalah, Torah, and quantum physics. So it's a really fascinating book. I highly recommend. I'm grateful for all of you for when you do tune into the show, because I don't broadcast that much lately anymore. I broadcast when something is important to me, or I don't broadcast. I'm not here to be like a clout chaser or anything like that. I'm here to defend truth. I'm here to say what's necessary, what's not being said. I'm here to influence the public agenda as I see fit. And I'm not here to chase my own ego or self-aggrandizement. Even if it comes, I will run from kavod, which is the teaching of Rabbi Nachman. And I think I've done a worthy effort of running from kavod. I could run from kavod more. And the kavod that chases you, that's really when you have something to say. But thank you guys all for letting me do this. And I have red heifer. For anybody who wants to get sprinkled, hit me up in the DMs. Come to California, I'll sprinkle you. Hag Sameach, everybody. This has been a great show. I don't know what comes next. If the sea splits, we might go through a paradigm shift within the next few hours here. And whatever happens is going to happen. So I'm with that. I have faith in God that God is leading the way. I'm not here to judge or get upset with anything. Just have faith that God, through the distractions and through the intentions, is actually taking us to the place He truly wants us to be, which is the other side of the sea, which is the place of freedom, which is the empowerment to choose Him and His love story to be actualized. I bless you, Hashem, that you find your love this year. B'shana hazeh b'Yerushalayim. I love you all. Thank you. Chag Sameach. Good night.